think it's a great combination to put the title we are talking about. The slickness of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, we brainwashed. We are brainwashed, my people. Boy, they washed our brain good. Y'all, they washed our brain good, man.
Peace, y'all. Those coming in.
Peace, y'all. Let's talk about it. My bad. We know.
See if they recognize what's in the background. Just besides the title.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows, y'all? Who knows, man? Why do we have to say stuff like this? Y'all, the picture is the reason. The picture is the reason, y'all. Let's talk about it. And even the Ethiopians don't know this, so you know it's some brainwashing going on. It's some brainwashing going on if the Ethiopians don't know this. You know. So we're gonna talk about it, y'all, and we're gonna get into it. And I guess early, huh? We're gonna get straight into the guesses on this one, y'all. We're gonna get straight into the guess.
How you doing, host? How you doing? How you doing, both of you?
Peace.
Peace.
Watching from England, just wanted to ask you a question. Obviously you class yourself as Christ, that's cool. Are you married to the woman next to you or not? Just asking, random question, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not what the topic about. But,
Oh, okay. My bad. And I was gonna ask about your child as well. How's your kid doing? I hope your kid's doing well. I hope you got good health and you're doing well as well, bro. I'm not here for negativity. I just wanted to ask random questions.
Yeah. No, we're gonna deal with the topic on it. So
no problem, bro. Because I never knew Christ had a child and was on child support. But I appreciate you for having me up, bro. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
If you can't come in and throw your jab, that means you're scared. But y'all, let's deal with the real topic at hand, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why we can't fight the good fight, y'all. You know, people always say we can't do nothing. You know why we can't do nothing? You know why we can't do nothing? Because we don't know what to be fighting for. That's why we fight each other. You know how you get so mad? You know how sometimes, your parents might come home and bring their anger out on you because they can't do it at the job, or your husband will come home and bring his anger out on you because he can't do nothing at the job. So since we can't do nothing about our situation, we fight each other. You look at it. Look, people like, man, why you? Because I can't fight the system. You know, they've been knocked that out of us. Because even when we was fighting the system, we was fighting the wrong fight. Even when we was fighting the system, we was fighting. That's why Marcus Garvey is the only black revolution that was able to go sit down with the KKKs. Because you know what he was fighting? The fight that's supposed to be fought. So when you truth, you can move anywhere. When it's truth, you can move anywhere. But we can't even join the fight. Because what? We don't know what to fight for. American freedom don't exist. We watch too many people fight for it. So it don't exist. Freedom don't exist because we never been get out of America. So now we say what? Man, America is my home. That's how much America has whooped us and the whoopings we have seen. They whooped us to say what? America is our home. Like I say, but we don't know what to fight for. So we put titles up like this, y'all. Man, this is what Marcus Garvey got sent home for. This is the kind of stuff Marcus Garvey got sent home for. He say, man, don't ever bring that ideology back to America. You're going to destroy everything we trying to build. You finna destroy Israel. See, if Marcus Garvey movement would have been successful, it wouldn't be no Israel.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be no Israel if Marcus Garvey movement would have succeeded.
And if some Ethiopians believe that Ethiopia is the biblical land, why don't y'all talk about to other Ethiopians that traveled to Israel by foot and also were taken by Americans, by the CIA, to go to Israel? They've been tricked to go to Israel that was created in the 1948. You know, that's another discussion about the same topic that we have up here. Or you want to keep?
Well, no, you good if you got these.
Hey, what's up, Waju and the Queen? What's happening? How y'all doing?
What's going on? Peace, bro.
Peace.
You already know. When y'all say that the Ethiopia is a biblical land, do y'all mention the Ptolemies when y'all say that? The Ptolemaic Empire?
Well, I don't like. Where is that empire located? Because we know we're talking about East Africa, but we deal with the throne. The throne was in Ethiopia. That's like if I talk about America, but if I want to be president, I might be from California, but I'm going politic in D.C.
Nah, but that wasn't the case though, because at this time, when I speak of the Ptolemaic Empire, Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt was considered. Upper Egypt was considered Ethiopia, Somalia, Eritrea, and parts of Sudan. So when the Ptolemies Soter took over Ethiopia, well, Upper Egypt, that he had control of it, and then placed his rule of law and everything. So all that stuff, what we be talking about it being the chosen land, made up story, bro. By the Ptolemies, all of that shit is made up.
Well, you can't. That's what I'm saying. That's why we bring the throne in the picture. The throne is not made up. The throne was here in the 1900s, so it's not made up. The throne was also respected. So this throne also created. Oh, just let me hear me out. This throne also created treaties. So that's why I say so. The facts we can't just erase the facts about the throne that existed there. We can't erase those facts, no matter how much we might try, no matter how many scholars that didn't talk about it. You can't erase it. This throne was there, and it had what? Respect.
Okay then. So how do we know about this throne? It's through the holy tablets, right? And through the history through the holy tablets, right?
Well, it's just not the holy tablets. Real life confirm it's real. You got the holy tablets that back it up, but real life let us know it's real.
Okay, so the with them putting the first holy tablets together, what was it called?
Well, no, that's the cold thing about history. Africans didn't put the holy tablets together. The Europeans who stole them put the holy tablets together. Africans didn't create the Bible. Africans wrote the scrolls. Europeans took it and created a book.
Okay. Now I can go with that. You're right about that. But we all know that through history, even through our oral family right now, everything is oral tradition. And through not only through oral tradition, through exercise, when I say exercise, through physical action.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put everything in a book, you do manipulate it. And when people follow a book and gain and do their exercise physically after that book, it's the same thing as reading it. It's the same thing as reading it and partaking in religion. That's what's going on right now.
Well, that's why our angle is the book is a prophecy. That's why it wasn't read to Africans. Like when we wrote them scrolls, we didn't pass it out to other Africans because it wasn't something to read. It was visions that was going to happen at an appointed time. Again, the Europeans stole these scrolls, created the book to validate their position. Because like you say, you can manipulate words in the book. Like if I send you a letter, but you rewrite my letter, you can manipulate it. You see what I'm saying? So the Bible is not a religious book. It's a prophecy book. It validates the actions that we are actually manifesting right now. You don't even have to believe the Bible. You still be a part of it based off your actions. You see what I'm saying? So that's we bring understanding. You see what I'm saying? No book is guiding us. You know. So but when it comes to the book is validated because we are under a kingdom by a pen. The paper and pen, right now, this is a paper kingdom. All these kingdoms are established by paper. So that's what we under. So we got to start understanding what's on paper, no matter we like it or not. And that's what the truth gonna give us, that understanding.
Well, pen and paper, like you said, now it sounds like you're contradicting yourself. You just said that the paper, if you send a letter, then the person can rewrite it and manipulate it. So the pen and paper can't be. Once you have the knowledge, once you have the mindset and the knowledge on how nature works and how real life works, the paper don't mean you nothing.
Oh, correct. I agree. Yeah, correct.
They're just like with people that don't know how to read. I know a gang of people that don't know how to read and they were successful without the pen and paper.
Well, but I think you misheard me. I was saying right now, this is a paper kingdom. That's why it's a false kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, this kingdom, the kingdom we under is a paper kingdom. It's false. It has to be destroyed with understanding. You know, like as long as we don't understand it, we'll always be under the spell words, which is the spell. Yeah.
And before I drop down, brother, I really appreciate you, Brett, really breaking that down for the people that we did get a mutual understanding.
All right. No problem, brother. No problem.
Hey, people out there, for those who really want to understand what we're saying, if they got the first book of the Bible was called a didactic poem, written by a dude named Dorothy's and Sidon. And it was prescribed by the Ptolemy's last grandson, Ptolemy Philadelphus. That book later on became the Septuagint. Later on became the Torah. And the Quran followed behind that. So yeah, man, y'all, I gave y'all the information. Like this brother doing every day. I appreciate both being honest. And man, y'all stay together, man. Y'all look beautiful together.
Appreciate that, brother. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you coming up. That's we definitely gonna fact check that, because if that's true, like that's how we look at it. The Bible is a poem. It's like the Bible is a song. It's called the Song of Moses.
It's verses.
It's verses. Like we write the best verses still to this day. And right now, people like Tupac, all these people who spoke of the future, DMX, these people was poem writers. We write poems. That's what we still known for still to this day. And a lot of these people can't read or write. You see what I'm saying? But they can flow. So the Bible is our book, but they have taken it and created English, and now it's a spell word. It's rather than we hear stuff we understand. I got that cake in my pocket. I'm finna go in my crib. You can't put that on paper. I'm finna go in my crib. He was a baby. He was going to his crib. That's a house in our. But when we hear that, we know we're not talking about a baby crib. We read and we might second guess ourselves. Damn, I'm reading. He was going to the crib. So hearing something and reading something is totally different, you know. But we got another guest, y'all. We got two platforms, so y'all see us talking different. It's two platforms.
Hey guys, thank you for having me up. I just want to say I'm a white Christian from America, and a long time ago, there's some Ethiopians here in the great state of Indiana, and they told me about the Ethiopian Bible that at the time, this has been like 30 years ago, I didn't know nothing about. And I started reading Ethiopian Bible, and I've learned that that is the oldest Bible, and it has all the books. I just really just want to come up here to say that when I hear an Ethiopian speak about Christianity, my ears go up. I listen a lot more to you guys. The truth you have been dropping is just amazing, man. God bless you. To the young lady, the knowledge you was dropping when you started talking, I mean, all I could do was smile. I just wanted to say thank you guys for what you're doing, spreading the word. And I may be wrong, but I personally believe that Ethiopia was the start of everything. I just believe it was the start of Christianity. Now, I may be wrong, and none of us will really know till we're gone, but just thank you for what you guys do, man. Just thank you. You got to follow today, and I'll be here for the next one. That's all I really wanted to say.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for coming up, brother.
Peace, peace.
Thank you.
Peace, peace. That's what we do it for, man. You know, the truth is setting us free, y'all. It's setting us free from a whole. And once we one thing the brother said, and this is something we have been taught, and this stuff we got to rub off. We won't know till we gone. That stuff we have been taught. That's a part of the lie too. It's written. It says, in those days, won't nothing be hidden. Won't nothing be hidden. These are the days. These are the times where nothing is hidden. But, get that verse where it say the devil opened his mouth, the serpent opened up his mouth as a flood after the woman. It's one truth in the world. It's one truth. Everybody gonna connect to that one truth when it's all said and done. That's why every tongue gonna confess and every knee gonna bow to the truth. Now, but this one truth is being oppressed because we've been flooded with so much false information. So much false information is flooding this woman. Now, this woman is the pure truth. It's undefiled. It's untouched. It's pure. It comes from God. It's untainted.
It's Revelations.
Yeah, Revelation 12. Yeah. So right now, the serpent, the false information, is flooding the one truth. See, you'll hear stuff like this, the one truth, and then you'll get flooded with, America, no, Israel, no, Bantu, no, it's one truth, man. It's one truth. It's not many truths. It's many lies. That's why it's a flood when it comes to the lie. But you got the ark, the information that's above the water, the security, so you won't drown in false information. That's what the Ark of the Covenant is. It's security. It's God's security, and it's carried by who? Priests. It's not the Ark of the Covenant. Is not. It tell you the priests, the Levites carry the Ark of the Covenant. The Levites are those that bring you information from God. But see, Christianity have taught us information comes from a book. I told you, hearing is better than reading. I promise you, y'all. Hearing is. How many people read the lyrics of a song? If you read the lyrics, you wouldn't even know the song. Since you heard the song so much, now you know it. By hearing it. You teach a kid ABCs, or matter of fact, let's just go to how we learn as a child. How do we learn as a child? Do we read or do we listen?
Listen first.
So listening is the best way of learning. Listening is the best way to learn. It's hands down. It's natural. It's nature to hear something. Man can't live off bread alone, but every word that proceeds from where?
Out of the mouth of God.
Because the mouth, you're going to hear it. But I want to read you the verse just to show you how the one truth is being flooded with false information.
Just 15.
Yeah.
So
let's start at 14.
It's Revelations 12, verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness in her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times and half of time, from the face of a serpent. So this great woman, if you ever read Revelation, this great woman is the one that birthed the male child that was going to rule all nations. This great woman. But then she was given wings to go to the wilderness, where she had a place prepared for her by God. So
This great woman, now this great woman was clothed with what? The sun. The moon was under her feet, and she had 12 stars on the top of her head as a crown. So this was a great woman. Now this great woman is where? In the earth. This revelation, this last days. So now in these times, you have a great woman that's clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and 12 stars on her head. And now she's in the wilderness. I don't think y'all hear that. This great woman is in the wilderness. I don't know how much I don't know how loud I can scream it. But this great woman is in the wilderness. Now watch what the serpent do to this woman that has the sun as her clothes, the moon under her feet, and 12 stars on her head. Watch what the serpent do to this woman.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman.
Hold up. What came out of his mouth?
His mouth, water as a flood after the woman.
So Christ turned water into what?
Wine. That he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
So this great woman, once this woman is in the wilderness, the serpent, the lies, the devil, deception came out as a flood. Like right now, how many teachers we got? We used to have just preachers. But how many people teach the Bible right now? It's more preachers than we ever had. It's more teachers and scholars than we ever had. It's more historians than we ever had. But why? That great woman is in the wilderness. This great woman is in the wilderness. This is why it's so much information in the earth. But watered down information.
And the Bible don't mean that you're in religion. We not in no religion. The Bible is prophecy. It's about what's happening in our times today. We not in no religion. It's not about religion.
It's about prophecy, y'all. That's why I was all prophecy over knowledge and wisdom, man. All religion have done was give you false knowledge and wisdom. Bread with yeast. That's all religion have done. It have puff you up to make you think you better than somebody. I'm a Christian. I'm a Muslim. So what? It's one God. Both Christians and believing in one God. They got what? Different knowledge and wisdom. That's the separation. Jehovah's Witnesses believe in the same Jesus. They got a different what? Knowledge and wisdom. So all religion did was give you puffed up bread that make you think you over somebody or you better than somebody because of the title you walking around with. That's all religion did. That's why they call it bread with yeast. You puffed up. You're not solid. A solid person don't think they better than nobody because they have a title. That's like if you got a manager right now, your manager over the whole crew. If he puffed up, he gonna be an asshole. But if he's solid, man, I love my manager, man. He's solid, bro. He ain't with all that. But somebody puffed up is ignorant. So you have so many ignorant people in the earth because of religion. We are a part of the prophecy. That's why we solid. And very few people don't like solid people. So, but let's get into the title, y'all. Let's get into why we say Ethiopia is the biblical land. Because why do we say Ethiopia is the biblical land? And why Ethiopians don't know this?
Why do they go to Israel? Why do they think Israel is the... What?
See, the word they hate.
Oh.
The word they hate. We're going to start putting up the C.
Right.
Let's put up the C.
Right.
Why Ethiopians don't know it's the biblical land? Why the world don't? Now, the Ethiopians know the world is colonized. But Ethiopians say they're not colonized. But they believe what the world believes. Not understanding colonization don't have to come with what? Weapons. Colonization come with what? Changing the mind frame. You take the mind, you take the body. You take the mind, you take the body. You take the mind, you take the body. And you become what? The seed. Once the mind is gone, you colonize. It's just that simple. Now, there's no other country that has their name on the Bible. No other country. Ethiopia is the only country in the world that don't even have an Israel Bible. They don't even have an ancient Israel Bible. But they got an ancient Ethiopian Bible. But Ethiopia is not the biblical land. Oh no, Ethiopia has nothing to do with the Bible. at all.
They ham.
You know, Ethiopia has nothing to do with the Bible. Ethiopia is the only country that their kings profess themselves that they was from the Solomonic dynasty. It's no other king, it's no other country that had kings that professed they was from the Solomonic dynasty. It's no other country. But Ethiopia is not part of the Bible. Ethiopia is not a part of the Bible. Ethiopia is not a part of the Bible. Ethiopia is the first country with the painting of Christ. Ethiopia is the first country with the painting of Christ. Ethiopia got the oldest church. The first African American church that was built in America was built in New York City. You know what it was called? You know what it was connected to? Ethiopia. I don't know why I shouldn't even have to say that. The first African American church was built in New York City, and his name was Abyssinia, which is what they call today Ethiopia. Now we want to put up something called the Operation of Moses. Guess what happened at, y'all? Somebody put in the comments, where did the Operation of Moses happen? Where did the Operation of Moses take place, y'all? Can anybody put in the comments? Ethiopia. Ethiopia. They got it. Why they ain't go to West Africa? Why they ain't go to Israel? Why they ain't go to Egypt? Why they didn't go to Egypt to do the Operation of Moses? They got the operation of Solomon, Joshua, and Moses. And guess where they all happened at, y'all? Guess where all these operations took place? Can anybody take a wise guess? $1 million guess of where all these operations took place at?
Sudan, Ethiopia.
Sudan, all that. Like old boy said, North
They was
Egypt,
picking up Ethiopians.
North Egypt. North Egypt and South Egypt was dealing with the Sudan and Ethiopia, which is, again, there's number of lines. Then you got the lower part. You know, where you probably include Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania. You know, that would be the lower Egypt. But the operation, all this stuff is connected to Ethiopia. Now, why? Now, people are not doing this. We talking about government now. We talking about people that run kingdoms and worlds. These are the people that put these operations together. CI, Central Intelligence. You know, the CIA been putting stuff over our head. You didn't know what the CIA was doing. They're intelligence that's above you. And if you're not a part of it, you don't know. So we finna put up something about the Operation of Moses, y'all. Let's change the background. Because all this is connected to the title of why we say Ethiopia is the biblical land. They call it the Ethiopian Exodus.
You want me to read it or?
Yeah, so I just want this you gotta let people digest this. They gotta be like, they gotta hear and then let it settle in. So this is in Ethiopians Exodus. Moses was America. What? Moses was America? Oh, Moses was American. I'm sorry. Moses was American. Now, why was Moses American in this Exodus? Because Moses is symbolic for what? The one that gets you out of what?
Egypt.
The one that gets you out of a situation. Moses is an allegory for whoever come to get you out of the situation. That's my Moses.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy how we had a black Moses before. Well, we had a Moses before this Moses, didn't we?
What do you say, Marcus Garvey?
Yeah, that's what Black Moses.
Sure, they call
now
Harriet Tubman.
Marcus Garvey was 50 years before this. Maybe, yeah. Marcus Garvey 50 years before this even took place. This happened in the 1900s, y'all. Like I say, it wouldn't even be no Israel if Marcus Garvey would have stayed here. Because I'm telling y'all, to get Americans, especially black Americans, back to Ethiopia was going to change the world powers. And the world was going to find out the truth. So all this, we all being lied to. You couldn't have created the lie, and they had to do this so they could keep Israel alive. See that? So, but let's get into the article before I go in left field. So when people say this didn't happen, this is a document. What document is this?
It's a CIA document. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's a CIA document. It's not newspaper or nothing.
Yeah, you can look it up yourself.
Okay.
This is the report number. It was made by Charles T. Powers. And I guess I'll start reading it.
So just want to clarify, it's a CIA document. For you think it's a CIA document.
And it was released May 5th, 2012, but it was made March 30th, 1985. It was made in 1985 though.
So it was made in 1985, but they released it in 2012. A secret operation. A secret. So we finna read the highlighted parts. Like I say, you can look up this document. You got the release number right there. All that stuff up there. Take a screenshot. You can look this stuff up yourself. But we just finna go over the highlighted part.
So it says, like their afflicted ancestors centuries before, they were sick and starving, persecuted Jews trapped in the land of Africa.
Hold up. I don't think they got that. It say what? Like what? Like they're afflicted who?
Like their afflicted ancestors centuries before.
So they had Ethiopian Jews centuries before these Jews had even came into affliction. Their ancestors. So the Jews has been afflicted for many years, as is written in the Bible. But remember, the Ethiopian Jews didn't come back. That's where they originated from.
They were sick and starving, persecuted Jews trapped in a land of Africa. Not Egypt this time, but here in Sudan. Fleeing famine and discrimination in their native Ethiopia, they had become refugees stranded in a world where they were alien.
So there was aliens centuries before there was aliens in Sudan. There was aliens in Ethiopia. And this is why we try to tell people, like Ethiopia was never disconnected from the slave trade at all. That's the first persecution of alienated people was God's people. That was the first persecution. It wasn't just, we think it was just slaves or this. That's why Hitler said America got God Jews.
It was a certain type of slaves.
And these are people who was heavily devoted and believed in God. They believed God was going to come save them. They believed God was going to set them free. They didn't follow nothing else. It was all about that God. Muslims, that's why you gotta think about, man, when you think about Ethiopia, you think about they still got the Muslim and Christians. That's all it's ever been about. Muslim and Christians. Either Christians unaliving Muslims or Muslims unalive Christians, but Muslims became more around. Like in America, a Christian is lesser to pick up a weapon. A Muslim will pick up a weapon before a Christian.
And some of y'all in the comments, y'all gotta wait to know who Moses is. Moses, you gotta wait. You gotta read the document.
And let me be quiet because let me get the document read.
It says, but like the Hebrews of old, these thousands of Ethiopian Jews found an unlikely Moses. And the full story of their modern day exodus during the last several months to a promised land is just now being told. Like the ancient journey, this one brought hazards. There was birth and death, panic and confusion, and travel across the wilderness by night. But there were modern twists. This time...
Hold on. Now, people say the slave ship was Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
To take them where? Why was the slave ship Jesus?
What you mean, like the name of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was it called that? It was Jesus. So it was all about taking people from persecution. In Tedros' time, in the early 1800s, people in Ethiopia was being persecuted. Tedros was being persecuted. He was king of kings. So if I'm a Jew in Ethiopia, I'm waiting for God to come. I'm waiting for God to send someone, and he's going to take us to the promised land, because remember, the Jews back then weren't reading the Bible. They just knew the foretelling of the prophecies, because these was told prophecies. We didn't pass these prophecies out. These prophecies was told. That's why you had different prophets. I didn't have to read the book of Moses, because I had a prophet among me telling me what's going to happen. And I listened to that prophet. This is why the Bible is talking about they have false prophets. Don't listen to the false prophets, because they wasn't reading the false prophets. They was listening to the false prophets. They weren't reading the prophets. They weren't reading the books. So all they knew, somebody was coming to save them from persecution. So if anybody came and could take me somewhere from my persecution, what did I automatically say? I'll go. Because I'm a Christian. I believe God is going to send someone. But back then, these people didn't have knowledge of where they was going. They didn't have knowledge of the world. They didn't know what America was doing. They didn't know America created Egypt.
They didn't know what their own government was doing.
They didn't know nothing. That's why I say we are the chosen generation, because we are the enlightened generation. We have never been in this much light and ever in our life.
So it says, this time jetliners bore the Jews to safety, and their chief deliverer was not an Israelite, but an American. Apparently, it was called Operation Moses and involved a tribe of Ethiopian Jews, some whose members trace their ancestry back to what they say was the union of King Solomon and Queen of Sheba. The Jewish refugees were quietly taken from the camps in the Sudan and then airlifted to Israel. The operation began on the night of November 21st. In all, 36 flights were made, taking about 7,800 Ethiopian Jews from Sudan.
So Ethiopian Jews had left Ethiopia and fled to Sudan because of their persecution from the Muslim in Ethiopia. On a part of being in Sudan, they also became alienated. They also became picked upon. So the America and Israel created an operation called Moses to put the Ethiopians on a plane and take them to Israel. When they got to Israel, guess what happened to them? Same thing. And this is what this document highlights. Now, when we say Ethiopia is the what? The biblical land, why did they have to tell the Ethiopian Jews that was Moses? They ain't never go tell no other Africans about this. They never went told no. So the stuff that they did in Ethiopia let you know what Ethiopia really is. The Bible tell you the Jews gonna be scattered all over the world, but why are the Jews being scattered? They didn't listen to God. Why were the Jews gonna be scattered all over the world? They didn't listen to God. We had a brother come up and say his parents walked 90 days. It took them 90 days. His little sister ended up passing away. He actually came on a live the last time we was live and actually talked about this. I say, man, we gotta do a video now, because she's been trying to tell me to do a video. But I thought this would go over people's heads, really, man, because people, y'all, you know.
There's a lot of Ethiopians families still in Israel.
But yeah,
you know?
And they can vouch to this operation. Mm-hmm. They can vouch to this operation. So you had Ethiopian Jews before the Kazanazi Jews in Israel that was created in 1948. So if I want to say the original Jews, what land would I go to? Like what land would I go to before 1948 and say what? Jews was being persecuted. I would go to Ethiopia. It's written down, documents and facts. You can't find no other Jews nowhere else. Like I say, y'all, so the connection of Ethiopia being the Bible. That's why I say we don't even have nothing to fight for if we don't know this. If we don't understand what Ethiopia is, we have nothing to fight for. It's like fighting air. We'll never win. We'll never establish nothing because we don't know what to establish. We don't even know what to get back. I want it back. What do they have for to give back?
They don't even claim it to be
like
want it back. They don't claim it to want it back.
Because they don't know what they have. More people don't know what was taken. What was taken? You wasn't there when they took it. So did they show you what was taken? So what was taken from you so you could ask for it back? We can't never get it back because we don't know what to ask for. We don't know what to represent. We don't know what to unify around. Like I say, it's impossible to play the game if you don't know how to play the game. Or you don't know where the game is at. The game is not in America, y'all. I'm gonna scream this to the top of my lungs. The game is not in America. The world is bigger than America. I used to be like that. I thought America was everything. You know, and at the same time, I knew it wasn't everything, but I'm like, shit, if it ain't over here, it ain't nowhere. This the best. Y'all, America is small. It's a way bigger fight than American freedom. That's basically what I'm saying. American freedom is something to laugh at. It's something to actually laugh at. Because right now, we have to join the real fight. The fight they never wanted us to fight. And this fight will set the world free. Let alone Africa. But this fight will literally set the world free. Because the devil deceived the whole world, not just Africa. We talking about every nation is right now is being deceived and being lied to and being used to what? Keep God's prophecy hidden. It's just that simple.
So we're on this part of the article right now. So it says the operation was held at the instance of the Sudanese 2 days after news of the airlift was made public in Israel. The last flight was on January 6th. When the news of the flights leaked and the operations was was suspended, it was widely assumed as that the Israeli government had masterminded and run the airlift.
But they said it was leaked.
Yeah, it was leaked because it was hidden. That people were.
I'm saying I just want people to catch that.
Yeah,
I want people to catch
this
that.
is a secret operation. However, the Israelis neither planned nor directed the operation's most cruel elements. Similarly, the CIA which directed a swift airlift to Israel on March 22nd of about 500 Jews who had been left behind, had nothing to do with the Operation Moses. And that operation they're talking about is Operation Joshua. With financing from Israeli sources and the probable blessing of the government of Sudan. So Israel had a agreement with the Sudan president at the time to collect these Ethiopian slaves. Ethiopian Jews. The plan of the Operation Moses was developed and carried out by the U.S. Embassy official here, a veteran and several years served in Sudan. His efforts had the full support of the U.S. State Department, which asked that his name be withheld from this account to avoid possible retaliation from the Arab extremists. And that's really much, pretty much.
So, like we said, the U.S. and Israel created the Operation of Moses to get the original Ethiopian Jews to Israel so they could be persecuted again. So they basically sold them false hope. It's just like us coming to America. We came on a Jesus ship thinking it's a better place and better land. And what? We was put into slavery.
And to justify...
It's no difference.
And to justify their land of Israel. You know, that's the time when they wanted to collect multiple people and say that this was the land of Israel. They had the different people that were so-called scattered. They didn't get the Jews from America. The black Jews.
Why would they wouldn't come here? Because shit, they brought us here.
They couldn't hide that there were Jews in Ethiopia. So they had to go to Ethiopia and get some Jews.
And you had to get the people that was proclaiming they was from Solomon. The Jews were those that was proclaiming they was of the house of David. So if you get these people, you get rid of them, you make them slums of the earth, they never be able to rep or never be able to tell their story. Like right now, when you deal with most of us can't tell our story in America, what happened to us.
They can't tell their
story. They
story.
don't put us on pedestals to tell our story. Mm-hmm. We can't tell our story. We don't have no resources.
So the Ethiopians can't tell their own story. Now all they know is Israel. You know, that's what they made the Ethiopians go over there for. For them to rep Israel. Yeah. A false, you know.
And like he said, he said his family, or the brother said his mother and father was still alive, and they was connected to some people who really know the story. Mm-hmm. You know, and
he said they took our. He said
they took our identity. Mm-hmm. And you know, like I said, a lot of they didn't when Israel was created in 1948, most of the world didn't even know about it.
And this is not the only operation. They did at least 4 other operations after this. And the last one took place in 2023.
Taking Ethiopian Jews.
That's 2 years ago. They still doing it. Oh, okay.
So nobody can refute this, man. Like to refute Ethiopia not being a biblical land, like I say, man, it's just to show you how we being flooded with information. Israel can never be the biblical land. Show me a king. They can't even show a king in Israel. For one thing, people always say how strong and how powerful we was, right? We were so strong and so powerful. But they can talk about Moses, but they can't talk about a king that was here in the 1600s. You know what Moses and David did, but you can't talk about a king that was here in the 1600s. You know, that's madness. That's why I say and you got people right now that's in America and Israel right now still repping Israel as the biblical land. And they can't find nothing. They can't find nothing, man. Show if the kings of Israel, now we can show you great kings that was in Ethiopia. And then even in the 1900s, they still writing about how they respected them. So, like when you can prove these things with 100% facts and people deny this, it's like, well, damn. But what is the serpent doing to that woman? Y'all, this wisdom, man, is clothed with the sun. I don't know how much, the moon under her feet. 12 stars on her head. But she is being persecuted with watered down information. This is the prophecy. The woman is in the wilderness. We don't know this great wisdom is in the earth. We don't know this great woman. I don't know, y'all. I'm getting tongue twisted how many times I'm saying. She clothed with the sun. The moon under her feet. And 12 stars upon her head. And she's in the wilderness. This woman right now is in the wilderness. But it's a flood that stopped people from what? Recognizing. Because shit, if you drowning, you can't see or hear nothing. Go in the water right now if you think I'm lying. And if you open your eyes too long, you're going to close it. So even if you get a glance at the woman, if you don't catch this rod we throwing and pull up out the water, you'll never get a good look at her. Because you're trying to look underwater. So when you are underwater, y'all, a lot of people are drowning in false information. You can't hear or see. So yeah, we know who we talking to. We know who we talking to. But we bring all these facts out, y'all, and we bring titles like this. This is so important to our movement. This is so important to the revolution. This is so important to the healing of the world. The whole world is under subjugation of believing Jesus came 2,000 years ago and gave them some kind of power that they carry on to the day. But you wait for him to come back, so he could have gave you power. Because if Christ gave you the power, why are you not doing greater things than him? Why are you not running on water? Shit, he walked, you run. Peter walked. You should be running. Shit, you should be moonwalking on top of water. Doing backflips. Ain't nobody doing that. You should be able to speak, and then somebody's eyes gonna open. Christ had to rub mud on their eyes. You shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to speak, and their eyes open. But what Damon Marlin say? A blind man told me the other day, he see. Miracles are being done. Blind man told me the other day, he see. So the miracles are being done. So like I say, y'all, when you get into all these facts we bring in, man, and connecting the prophecy and showing you, you know, what's taking place at these times, and your eyes have to be open because you have to hear the truth to open your eyes. You're not going to, Jesus, you know, if we going to stick with the fact that you could bring the fake Jews to the real land of God, this is why nobody want to stand up and fight. Because the devil ain't that strong. Like if you can literally, it's no way you could bring the fake Jews to the original land. It's impossible. The colonizers ain't that strong. There's no way you can do these things. You had to bring the fake Jews to a fake land. Why the hell you think? How can you create Israel and believe it's Israel?
They couldn't take them. They couldn't take them to Ethiopia.
Hell no, it wouldn't work.
Exactly.
It's impossible. It's impossible to bring fake Jews and be like, hey, it's like
even the American army, when they were coming there, they couldn't say that they were from Israel. They had to say they were from Jerusalem for the Ethiopians to hear them out, because they knew there were going to be a new Jerusalem. This is how they tricked these Ethiopians. Because they were called Beta Israel. How are you going to be called Israel when we Israel?
That's why I don't think we was using the name Israel. We wasn't using that name. That was part of the missionaries. That was part of them. That's an English word, and part of their translation. We wasn't using Israel. You know, I could bet. This is why when they rewrote everything, and now it's in English, since they control it and they have their original, they gonna create the council because they have their original. You know, so we wasn't using Israel. You know, they probably start saying this is the new name God gonna give you, because you know Israel is the new name God gonna give to Jacob.
Yeah, they didn't know nothing.
It's like Israel is not an ancestry name. That's a new name that was foretold that God was gonna give to the people that was going to fulfill and carry out his works or its works. You know, so Israel wasn't an ancient term. This is why they was able to create Israel. This is why they was able to create all this stuff, because none of these terms existed in our time as they are being called today. Now, Israel is a worldwide name. Israel never been a worldwide name. You know, this is something that the Europeans created to hide the true identity of the people. You know, so like I say, y'all, so when we say Ethiopia is the biblical land, it's way bigger than what you think. It's way bigger than what you think. That's why I told all this stuff happened after Marcus Garvey, man. It's when they found out black people, because you got what I didn't know, and I just found out not too long ago, that 95% of the black revolution in the early 1900s was connected to Ethiopia. The first African American church was dedicated to Ethiopia. What's more left to say? What's more left to say if the first church that African Americans built in New York City was connected to Ethiopia? what's really left to say after that? You know, and so when you talk about these things, all our movements in the early 1900s was connected to Ethiopia. They had I wish I screenshotted that man. They had the man going around the whole America preaching Ethiopia was the restoration land. I think this is like right before Marcus Garvey. It was in the 1920s. Through the night he was preaching. Ethiopia was the promised land. Going around preaching this in the early 1900s. Now, why was he saying this? Why was he saying this? Now, this is before all these operations and all this Israel is created. I don't think this is before Israel is even created. This stuff was being told to us on high levels. Everybody, and right after they sent Marcus Garvey home, all these people started creating organizations to make us what? Stay in America. Moorish Temple, Science, Nation of Islam, Christianity, Jehovah's Witness. All this stuff was created to what? Stop you from fighting or getting in the game. If you ain't not talking about Ethiopia as an African American, as an African diaspora, you're not even in the game. What World War I was about? Ethiopia. What World War II was about? Ethiopia. What World War III gonna be about? Ethiopia. So you're not even in the fight if you're not mentioning this. You're not even in the fight. You might well be quiet, shut up, and sit down. Because you are part of the enemy. You working for the enemy if you not in this fight. It's just that simple.
And y'all feel free to come up because I know some people are confused about Israel right now because of what's going on. You know, the propaganda that's going on when it comes to Israel. Or we could say isn't real on these lives because we are on TikTok.
Yeah, they're very sensitive. They are very, very sensitive. But nobody want to confute. Because right now in 2025, you can't say Israel is the biblical land. The Hebrews was big. In 2019, we going to Israel. The 400 years up. They got 500,000 people, 500,000 members. They ain't tried to go back yet. They ain't tried to go back yet. All the members, all the money they collected, they ain't tried to go back yet. I guess Israel not the promised land. I guess Israel, if that's your ancestral land, what's stopping you from going? You a prophet. You're a prophet and you can't go back to your what you're the prophet. You can't go back to where your ancestors come from.
No, they want Christ to do it. They want.
But they don't want to shut up and sit down and wait on Christ. They want to stand up and talk about and wait on Christ. Come on, man. That's lame, man. That's lame, y'all. That's lame, man. That's lame, y'all.
Now they think it's a whole cube coming out the sky. And that's what's going to be the new Jerusalem. Some cube coming down the sky. A cube. A golden cube.
So Christ ain't a carpenter no more. Christ ain't gonna build the kingdom. Christ ain't no carpenter no more. Like we don't build a temple no more. A cube coming down, huh? Okay. Boy, let them rise.
I'm surprised nobody want to come up and talk about or defend their Israel.
Shit.
Even some Ethiopians, because I know some Ethiopians still think that's the promised land. So
deep down in their soul, they know it ain't true. Deep down in their soul, they think it ain't. Well, they know it ain't true, y'all.
If you believe Israel is the Holy Land, come up and prove how it's the Holy Land.
Cause like Joe, I want to know.
It's better for us to understand where you're coming from, not just from the comments.
So like Joe, I want to know. I want to know what makes you smile. But y'all, man, like I say, this stuff is, man, you know, this is how you know it's true because people whisper about this. The truth ain't loud till it's time to get loud. The truth is solid, and it always will remain solid. It will remain firm. The truth remain the same. It don't change. It's solid. It's just that solid. You know, the truth is loud. You got to put on all kind of clothes. You know, you got to switch up your tone. You know, you got to do all kind of tricks. The solid truth, shit, well, damn. Ain't nobody clap. Well, it's the truth. Ain't nobody agreeing with it. Well, it's the truth. That's how like the truth is. That's why the truth don't need no praise. That's why you read in the scriptures, no praise from man. No praise, no man can praise the truth. Every man, every woman gonna have to accept the truth. You don't praise the truth. You accept it. And you can't, the devil accept the truth. The devil just a fighter. He's gonna fight to the end, but it accept the truth. You know, so when you really deal with the truth, y'all, it's just something that's solid. A lot of people looking for this miracle. The wicked and the adulterous generation seek out the sign, but won't be given one. Except what? The sign of Jonah. Somebody gonna be spit out the belly of the beast, and they gonna come with the preaching of repentance. And if you hear it, you'll repent. If you reject it, you will never repent, and you're gonna be put to shame.
Someone said, how does knowing the location of the promised land link to redemption? What does it say? Repentance.
Well, the one that's bringing all this information out also have the message of repentance. So you going to Ethiopia is not going to help you repent. You don't have to go to Ethiopia at all. But you must know it's not Israel, and you must know it's Ethiopia. It's a part of the truth. You know, so repentance is removing lies away from, because the sin that most people don't understand is coming from your lips. That's the sin that the Bible is speaking of. A lot of people is offering the food of God, and they ain't not qualified. Everybody can't serve God dish. So knowing Ethiopia is the biblical land is a part of the truth. God is the God of truth, not the God of lies. God, the father of lies, is the devil. So if you speak lies, your father is the devil. So you must come to the truth, so your father can be God. This is how you repent. You know, so
the real holy people out of America.
That's what you believe, brother. You know, nobody can even show me an American king.
Sure, the people, yeah.
Show me an American king.
The people, yeah, because they've been scattered. They've been taken to go to America. If that's how you're saying it. But if you're saying that the Holy Land is in America, then you're going to have to come up and prove that up.
That's nonsense. America ain't got the animals. Like, where do you think the lion come from? The lion ain't in America. The giraffe, the elephant.
He's talking about the black Americans. He's talking about the...
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's the holy people.
Like, you know, when people say America is the ancient land, shit, where the ancient animals? They probably got a lion or an elephant on their neck. Shit ain't America. Oh, they unalived all the animals that was here. See the man, get out of here. Why they like come on, y'all, man. Like come on, y'all. That's they left the deer. Yeah, the deer don't do nothing. You know, they hunt deers like crazy. The deer still exist. You know, so when you deal with Africa, y'all, man, you're just dealing with that's like I've been hearing this all my life. Ethiopia is where the first people come from. I've been hearing that all my life. You know, all my life. You know, now to uncover all this about Ethiopia, man, it's crazy how the world can really be this deceived. To be fighting this. And even Ethiopians fight this. That lets you know it's true. It's like, oh shit, yeah, the devil deceived the whole world. Yes. The devil deceived the whole world. Yes. Because when you got to argue about people that's in the land, that's the biblical land, that let you know, hey, something went down. Something went down, y'all. Something went down. You know, and you know, these people don't even rep their history. Like when you ask an Ethiopian, what make Ethiopia great? Your government don't make Ethiopia great. What makes Ethiopia great?
And then it's not colonized.
You know, always not colonized. What makes, and then when they talk about Ethiopia greatness, they go straight to Menelik when he defeated the Italians. And key word, Menelik defeated the Italians. They don't go to when Haile Selassie defeated the Italians.
Because he didn't.
They don't mention that. They mention when Menelik defeated the Italians. But Menelik was the king. Menelik wasn't no what kind of government they got? What they call it?
The
democracy. You know, So, like, can somebody explain something? What makes Ethiopia great? If you're not going to mention Ethiopia kings like Tedros, you know, people like that, you're like, well, just Ethiopia. We had kings too. But Tedros also proclaimed he was the anointed one from God. You know, so like I say, y'all, man, it's just things, man, that we need to really adhere to this beautiful wisdom that's clothed with the sun. The moon is under her feet, and 12 stars is upon her head, and she's in the wilderness. That's why I say flee to the wilderness. You know, the Bible say flee to the wilderness, right? The wilderness of Jerusalem. I mean, shit a little wild right now, but this wisdom, oh, it's that great. Oh, this wisdom is that great. It's that great. And right now, she's in a wild, wild west. Shit is real wild. It get real wild it get wild, y'all. It's wild, man. It's
one of the coldest parts about the operation, you know, to get these Ethiopian Jews is that their own military coup, is the ones that sold them.
Because the military coup was the CIA was using Muslims. Remember that document we read? Mm-hmm. The CIA, because like I say, a Muslim will pick up a weapon more than a Christian.
Right.
You know, and because they got rid of all the Christian kings, you know, a lot of fight, you know, was taken out. You know, when you that's why I say when you strike the shepherd, the sheep scatter. You know, so a lot of Christian kings that really was warriors, they beat them. That's why they had missionaries over there trying to remove the people from violence. You know the turn the other cheek syndrome. Well, you can slap me and I ain't gonna slap you back. That's what kind of Christians the colonizer missionaries, because was created. You know, and through creating this, they was able to what? Move these people who wasn't gonna fight, wasn't gonna lift up a hand. Because they was Christians. Jesus say don't fight. Jesus ain't a warrior. He turned over tables, but he don't fight. He don't fight. Jesus is nice. You know, he didn't, you know, he just turned over tables because he was mad a little bit. You know, he got a little angry for a second. But he calmed right back down. Right after Jesus turned over the tables, he calmed right back down. And he began to speak soft and, you know, and whisper to you and, you know, just tell you no violence and just turn the other cheek and, you know, don't be a fighter. But David took the giant sword. But Jesus ain't gonna lift a finger. Jesus ain't gonna lift a finger. And that's what the missionaries was creating. There's no secret. Take the fight out of them. Use the Bible to take the fight out of them. And that's what they did. You know, that's what they did to us in America. You know, you did with a black man as a Christian. He's not fighting for liberation. A black man as a Christian not finna stand up for what's going on in the neighborhood. Oh, brother, come to Jesus. Did you just see what went on? Just come to Jesus. Let it go. Let it go. Come to Jesus. That's all they know. Because this is what the missionaries, they didn't want you to fight. They didn't want you to lift up a finger. I'm not just saying violence. I'm saying just stand up. Be a stand-up guy. That's all. Just be a stand-up guy. So when something look wrong, you stand up. You don't turn your head and say, Jesus. Stand up. Say something. Nah, I leave it in Jesus' hand. You know, nah, come on, man. Like that's you know, that's what they taught us. And then that's why they say Judah is like a lion that's crouched down. Who gonna rouse him? Who gonna rouse up Judah? Who gonna show Judah he got prey out here? It's time to eat up. Yeah, Judah, it's time to eat up. It's time to get up. It's time to get up. It's time to eat up. You know, and but it's written. We got to be aroused because of what has been taught to us, what has been fed to us. You know, and like I say, a lot of us don't know what to fight, so we fight each other. That's what you see. We fight each other because we don't know what to fight. We don't even know how to win. And if you're fighting for American freedom, they laugh. Like you deal with our leaders, y'all. Deal with our leaders that really led us. The pastors, they didn't teach us to stand up against this system. You know, the Muslims lied to us in so many ways. They act like they were standing up to the system, but they never stood up. What was Farrakhan playing? Now I find out shit, Muslims waiting on Jesus like Christians. Oh, what? They waiting on Jesus? Oh man, get out of here.
Sure,
man.
there's no
Bro.
point in going against the
It's,
damn
my,
Christians.
it's just no
Ain't
point.
There's no point of the wrath when it comes to Muslims and Christians if y'all still both waiting on Christ. Like,
It's no,
what's the argument about?
both of them not knowing the truth. That's what the argument about. Both of them not knowing the truth. But I thought more people would come up and defend the biblical land. I was real surprised that we didn't get no.
I think because they scared to defend it because of what's going on.
I got it.
These days.
I got it. You know, nobody came up and defended
Israel, huh?
Israel. That's it's a little strange there, my people. It's a little strange, man. You know, for us to put Ethiopia as the biblical land, and Ethiopians can't deny it no more because we done put so much information out about it. It's like, oh well, I wouldn't look right saying that. You know, I wouldn't look right saying my land is not the, you know, the biblical land. I wouldn't look right. You know, and like, you know, we deny Ethiopia. I mean, Ethiopia Bible being the oldest, we deny that, but you can't deny that. I remember times the Ethiopians say, why, if Ethiopia got the oldest Bible, what do that mean? Whoever got the oldest see, that's how spelling words mess us up. Whoever had the oldest, they have the original.
Shoot, we coming up here for y'all to ask questions.
Whoever got the oldest, that mean that's the original. That's why they have the oldest. But the word oldest is not the same thing as original in our mind because of the spell. But if Ethiopia got the oldest, they have the original. That means nobody else got one before them. They have the oldest. So if they got the oldest, they have the original. But we can't process that because of the spelling words.
And I sent you an invite, Kush. Since you say you're a Ethiopian Christian, we got questions for Ethiopian Christians.
No, I ain't got.
So I got questions for Ethiopian Christians. Is Israel the biblical land? That's my question.
Yo.
Peace, peace.
What's up, brother? Peace.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We good.
Yeah, I was just scrolling and I just saw you guys talking about the Jewish Ethiopia, and I was just curious. That's why I said ask me a question.
Yeah, you say you was an Ethiopian Christian?
Yeah.
Do you believe that the land of Israel in the Middle East is the true biblical land?
The land is, but the people are not.
So the land is.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you come up with the fact that that land is the biblical land?
Because it was taught, passed down to generations where I'm from. We even trace our ancestor to Cush and Nimrod and ETL, which a lot of Western people are not aware of. We have our own ancient history that we taught at a certain school in Christian monasteries. So we have ancestors that ruled over that land thousands and thousands of years ago. And when we share the same ancestors with David, Moses, and David is like the second king of Israel. At that time, we had previous kings and queens and pharaohs that used to rule over that land before Saul and David.
Brother, don't you know in the Bible, Israel is a people and not a land? And the land of Israel that you are speaking of was created in 1948. Before 1948, the land of Israel didn't exist. So if David ruled over that land and David is from Israel, then Israel would have been in that land before 1948, correct?
Yeah, Israel, the modern day, the land is part of Africa. There's no Middle East. It was Africa. And Africans used to go up and down to Egypt, to Israel, and there was a lot of black people there. The white people there are now Khazarians.
Okay, well, you got to look at it this way. So why did they have Ethiopian kings in Ethiopia proclaiming to be from the bloodline of David? and they have never been slaves.
Yeah, that's true.
So what you saying, David had rulership in Ethiopia and Israel?
No, Israel was a fraction of a place where Ethiopian monarchs and kings used to rule over, including Moors, and then somehow it got passed down to David, which is also our bloodline, and he's also Ethiopian.
Well, you gotta understand, brother, the oldest Bible come from where? It don't come from Israel, it come from Ethiopia, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if the oldest Bible come from Ethiopia, then how can Israel be the land? The oldest Bible is where the original Bible come from. That's why it's the oldest.
Because Ethiopia is not a specifically little country that you think it is.
Well,
That's not what we think it is.
You're correct.
Whatever an indigenous person is, and Israel was part of the Ethiopian kingdom, the Aksumite kingdom, the Kush kingdom. So it wasn't just like the cities and maps were mapped out like today. Ethiopia was the first nation on earth, first people. They moved up north to Egypt, and Israel was just a province, and it was the promised land technically. But Ethiopia is also a holy land. They both holy land.
Well, no, you know. Okay,
The
so
land, like you said, the land don't even matter. It's the people and the race. It's 12 tribes of Israel.
okay, that's what I'm saying. But like Israel's a people and not a land. So the Israel that you speak of was created.
Yes.
Oh, and all I'm saying is when you deal with the last one that sat on the throne, which was Haile Selassie, we can't deny that he was, you know, the last one. You know, whatever he did, but he was the last one on that throne that's connected to Solomon. Now, when you go to Israel, you can't find no kings that sat on the throne, because in true teachings, and this is what the missionaries was doing in Africa, they was changing the Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So the Christianity that Africans have adopted is the colonizers. This will make Africa colonized. David, just hear me out. David was allegory. Abraham is allegory. These are not people. These are allegory. So Christ is the seed of David. So Christ will represent King David. Christ would also represent the David that defeat Goliath. But we wasn't taught this, because all information come from colonizers and their history and their story from their way of looking at the Bible.
Yeah, but one thing I want to add, everything you say is right. I'm not even disagreeing. The one part I disagree is Christianity came back to Africa modernized, but the roots and the source is pre-Christianity, pre-Christian, I forgot the name, Judaism, and Abraham, and religion, one God, monolithic God. We Africans had it way before it was in Europe. We had baptism, thousands and thousands.
But we agree with that, brother. We agree with that. But we're saying, like, even during Tedros' time, those missionaries that was in Ethiopia at the time, they were teaching the false Christianity, and this is where you got the false Israel. This is where you got the false Christ, the white Christ coming from. You know, this is
Correct.
so we agree with what you're saying.
I definitely agree with everything you're saying.
But then my question is, why do you still believe that Israel is the true Israel if they created it to create their false history?
That Israel is not the real Israel. What I'm saying is, the word Israel, where I'm from, we definitely, the name they got right now, they adopted it from us, Israelites. Israel is the name that we've been giving to that place for thousands of years, way before the white man. So the modern white Israel that you guys are talking about, it's all fake. The white Jesus is all fake. But the true Christianity that was before that, all the doctrines that you say, are in the Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity. But the head of that Christianity, even now, it's kind of corrupted and declined.
Okay, we thinking the same way then. We definitely thinking the same way.
Yeah, I'm not here to argue with y'all. I'm saying we are the same people. What you say is actually the truth, and the real ones where I'm from, we know that shit.
Well, see, brother man, I think, but a lot of us are not in tune, because the Bible talk about the Jews being scattered all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's very important for us to unite for one purpose. And the only purpose is to set up God's throne. Because sometimes when I say David's throne, people don't hear it right. But David's throne is connected to God. It's the throne that connects to God wisdom. So a lot of Ethiopians, when they hear restoring the king or restoring the throne, they think of oppression and bad. But I don't want to say this, but this is why. But hold up. I want to say that you're right, but I'm just saying. But this is what show us why we are disconnected from the prophecy, because most people believe in the Bible, but they disconnected from the prophecy of the Bible, which is to restore David's throne. So if anybody pick up the Bible and they're not trying to help restore the throne, they can't even do the work of God. They can't even do the work of Christ.
That's true. That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to help my brothers and sisters see, especially those who need to be a part of this, because that's the fight that's going to help all us win. That's when we all win.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Thank you guys. I don't have a lot of time. I'm kind of heading to work.
Okay, brother. It's good, man. We appreciate you coming up, bro. Appreciate you coming up, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Peace.
Shit, he bought the first Ethiopian that kind of agreed with, like, you tell Ethiopian to restore the throne, boy, they act like you finna bring the colonizers in and put them in office.
Right. When they already in office.
Yeah, like we say we're throwing the throne. That sound like to them we putting the colonizers in office. And no, that like the throne that we are talking about is connected to God. If you don't want this throne to be set up, you don't want God prophecy to happen. That's what they're saying. You don't want God prophecy to be fulfilled because of your feelings. That's why I say God is no respecter of person. So God ain't gonna respect the Ethiopians, the African Americans, the Europeans. God ain't gonna respect nobody. God is gonna what? The truth is gonna be established. But what's going on? Peace.
Hey, peace be upon both of y'all. Let me just say this, and no weird business, but both of y'all are beautiful as black people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, both of y'all are beautiful. But I'm here to learn from you guys.
All right.
You say what?
He wanna learn from us.
Okay, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up, man. That's what we that's definitely a humble way doing that, especially as a man. And yeah, you know, we got a website. If you want to contact us, we got Monday calls, you know. So we got other people y'all that's a part of this, you know, that just as humble as this brother, and they know, you know, this information is something they need to eat up. So if that's something you're looking to do, brother, that's the website. You can message us your information. We can add you to the WhatsApp. You could be on the Monday calls, or you could just come on here and ask us questions. Whatever floats your boat.
So I've done my own research, but and it's all aligned with what you guys have been saying previously. I've been in a live for about like a good 5-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I found is aligned with you guys. I just got one question.
What's the question?
Are you saying that the Ethiopian Bible, and it's me asking because I don't want to assume anything. Are you saying that the Ethiopian Bible is the oldest Bible?
Correct.
Are you saying like the Ethiopian Bible is the oldest Bible because it is the Bible that was what's the word that I'm looking for?
Well, it was never a Bible, it was scrolls. The Europeans created the Bible. Yeah, the Europeans created the Bible, but they stole the scrolls from Ethiopia.
Okay. Now I understand what you're saying. Because the reason why I'm asking these questions is because I'm a very literal person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even with all of my professions, I'm a very literal person. And I've been doing this for the last 17 years to be a very literal person. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard. I'm going to be honest. It's kind of hard for me to be like, you know what I'm saying, understand people where they come from or what they saying. And like people be like, oh, I'm saying this, but then I hear that and then I think it's something else. And then I'll have to ask questions and they get upset. And I'm like, no, you getting upset, but I'm trying to make sure I understand you correctly.
Yeah, I think you should definitely check out the Salic Minded Dynasty, Tedros II, the Siege of Magdala. You know, that's history that talks about how the British Empire came into Ethiopia and stole the biblical manuscripts.
Oh, sister, I've already I don't even know y'all name. Can I my name is Mason, as you see. Can I know y'all name?
I'm Yaju.
Kamani or Arch.
How you doing, Yaju and Kamani? My name is Mason. Like I said, I've done research on all it. And when I say I'm 35, may not look like it in my well, you can't see it. This is my one of my burner accounts. But I've done a lot of research. 35 years old, done a lot of research, and everything that you guys are saying is very true. Very true. And I appreciate you guys for doing everything that you're doing, spreading the truth. So, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what Jesus was about. He was about spreading the truth, the way, and the life, and you guys are doing that.
That's what's up, brother. That's what's up, man. We definitely appreciate you coming up there, brother, and acknowledging, man. You know, that's what's up.
So, was there any other questions you had about the topic of Ethiopia being the biblical land, or anything about Israel, or?
Nah, because I just wanted to honestly, I only came up for that one question that I had just to clarify some things in my mind. Because you guys are busy, you know what I'm saying? Y'all were talking to somebody, and I know how lives get because I run my own lives, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to come up and ask that question.
Okay. All right. That's what's up, brother. Appreciate you coming up, man.
Hey, no problem. Hey, peace be upon you, brother and sister.
Peace.
Hello?
What's going on? Peace.
Peace, king and queen.
What's going on, brother? Peace.
Yo, man, my name is Terrell, man. I've been studying for quite some time now. And I hear what y'all saying about this the new land. This been our land. I also agree with that. I agree with Mississippi. It's the Nile. The Chattahoochee, that's the Jordan.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't accept America as our land.
Yeah. We don't accept that. We don't do that. So my thing is, I'm about to go to a whole nother level about with this Christ thing. See, I really just can't fathom with one person, that we worship. I can't see him. I go to the Most High himself. If you read the old scriptures, Isaiah 43:11, what did he say? Beside me, there is no savior.
Well, brother, you gotta look at it this way. Moses was the one you had to go through before Christ.
And if you ask me, Moses was our Christ. That he the savior.
Slow down, brother. That's what I'm saying. Like, but because God gave him that power, it said Moses was the most humble of all. That's what we forget about, because we hear Christ was humble, but we don't hear about Moses being humble. It said out of all, Moses was the most humble. Aaron and Miriam got jealous of Moses because of what? Moses' position. So even in the Old Testament, God gives positions to establish what? Order. Even in the streets, even at a job, even in the animal kingdom, it's positions. Now, whoever God put in position, this is how you go through God. This is why it's written. The only way through God is through the Son. Religion think it's only Jesus, but like I told you, back then you had to go through Moses. Moses was the Son. Moses was the Christ. But this is not told to us. So Christ is the anointed living man. Christ is not a deity that came 2,000 years ago. Christ is simply an anointed living man. That's why Moses is Christ.
Exactly.
So since we don't understand that, we're not looking for God among us. We're looking for God in ourselves. We're looking for God in the book. But we should be looking for the God among us, so we can have that God within, so we can have that heaven within us. So that's what the scriptures is about. Religion just watered that down. But right. Christ is the title for a living man among you. It's not a title for a deity that lives in the sky.
So let me tell you this, brother. I have read the whole Bible 2 times and the 14 books of the Apocrypha taken out twice. I done read it. So in Second Esdras, in the book of Esdras, it tells us of a Messiah. He's not coming out of the sky. This is a man that's going to walk out of the water. He's coming from the water. Yeah, this is what Esdras telling.
Well, look, and look, and I could agree. I could agree with that. But you gotta understand the symbolic of watered down information. He's coming up out of the water because he's coming out of the watered down information. That's why Christ is a what? He's gonna be sitting on the bank fishing for men. Because his rod is gonna be just like the rod of Moses. When he cast it, he's gonna be able to defeat all musicians. He's gonna be able to defeat all teachers when he cast his rod. So Christ is casting his rod in the watered down information as the same waters he came up out of.
Okay, I feel you on that one, brother. You just broke that down good to me. Okay. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Peace,
All right,
king and
brother.
queen.
Salute to you, man. Appreciate you coming up, brother.
Shalom.
Peace, peace. But see, he got an understanding. Everybody's getting to that understanding of where we need to be. Is the Christ story is true. It just ain't what the way it was fabricated.
Told,
yeah. But we got another guest, y'all. Peace, peace.
Peace, peace.
Peace, love. This is a very interesting topic because I actually just posted a few days ago, why don't we go by the Ethiopian Bible because it's the oldest Bible. And as I was doing my research, I saw in Isaiah 18 that it actually said that Ethiopia was going to play a big role at the end times. It also states that Ethiopia has something very special out there. I've been doing documentary. So I really believe what you guys are saying and what you guys are teaching is a beautiful thing because Ethiopia plays a very big part. And they wasn't in the meeting with the Council of Nicaea because of the things that they had that they didn't want to be put up in this Bible that they did water down. So I think it's a beautiful thing that you guys are shedding light on Ethiopia.
Okay, that's what's up, sir. That's what's up. Yeah, it's sad to see how very few people understand this, but I'm definitely glad that I'm glad you came up and clarified. You are one of these light beings that really understand this easy, so simple, but complex topic. Because this thing could be so simple at the end of the day because it's so many facts. Like we even got a newspaper article where the Washington Times was writing about Menelik and how he said from himself he was from the bloodline of Solomon and David. And we can clarify Menelik as being a melanated African to the bone. And we could bring stuff like this and just people overlook stuff, and that's why I say it's so simple but so complex because we have to get rid of so much Israel, Jesus. I'm a Christian. When the truth is what really gonna set us free. So I was definitely glad you came up and clarified that.
And if they read Isaiah, they'll see Isaiah 18, and like you said, the son of Queen Sheba and Solomon, he took something back. They say it's lost, but no, it's being governed. And don't nobody know about the son. Nobody talks about the son of those two. And he plays a very important role between those two nations, the Ethiopian nation and those Jews over there. He plays an important role, and they don't share that with us. Mm-hmm. But those are the ones that just don't have the Ruach, the spirit, and the ones that's getting this is the ones that's the spirit is really dwelled in.
Yeah, the babes. It's gonna be revealed to the babes. It's already written. A lot of these people with wisdom and knowledge and teachers of this, teachers of that, these simple things finna confound them.
Someone wants you to show their Ethiopian Bible.
Well, that's what I wanted to come up with. I love you guys live. I barely catch you guys. This is like my third time catching y'all since June. So y'all live is always peaceful. It's always humble. And keep doing y'all spiritual walk with the people. I'm here to help, I'm here to help too. But I just hope our people wake up because the time is near.
We appreciate you, sis.
Appreciate you coming up. We definitely got a website right there. You can check out and send us a message, and you know we can be in contact.
Check out our
I sure will.
declarations.
I'll be down below still listening, but I appreciate you guys. Keep doing what God sent for y'all to do. God
All right,
bless.
sis.
Peace,
Peace.
peace.
Likewise. So, Ethiopic virgin. You know they have different versions you can get. This is a version I got
Oh, let me take
a while ago. I don't know if y'all can really see it. Y'all can't see me, but you know. And like I say, y'all, it's not about the book. The book is not gonna change nothing. But this is to reveal the truth at the end of the day. This is all this stuff is to reveal the truth. You know, so like if you got the Ethiopian book, it ain't gonna make you no smarter than the American got a King James. I don't want people to look at it that way, because I know how people look at things. So this is not really just the, you know, but this is the truth. Like no other country has their name on the book. You know, so this is why this stuff needs to be taught, because we have been taught. You know, we have been taught that what? Israel is the biblical land. You had all black people in America from the Hebrew Israelites want to go back to Israel. None of them ain't went back yet. Imagine if you had all them black people want to go to Ethiopia. In the name of God, want to keep God's laws. Just seeking God, not going somewhere just to, but actually seeking God and want to do right by God, because that's what you have, a group of people. Now we are being deceived by what? The scribes and Pharisees. That's what the whole book about. In the last days, you're going to have the scribes and Pharisees deceiving the people who want to do the work of God. So it's a lot of people that want to do the work of God, but they don't have the information to do the work. So now you got them as sitting ducks.
They don't got the plan. They don't got no plan.
You know, they sitting ducks.
That's why those Ethiopians that went to Israel, what were they gonna do?
Man, they got treated so bad, y'all.
Like what?
You know, they got the lowest jobs on the market. Hey, keep that paper off the road over there. Scrub these toilets. That's the job they got. They didn't get their occupation jobs when they went to Israel. They got treated as slums. Look it up. It's in the documents. This is how Israel treated the Ethiopian Jews. And matter of fact, it's so crazy. When the Israel movement happened over here, they was meeting those Jews, because you know the Israel movement is you know what? That's some CIA. The Israel movement happened at the same time as this movement. The Israel movement happened in 1970. In 1970 something. Like, come on, man, to take us back to Israel, like that was. But a whole picture just came up just now. But
you remember the guy of the who was it, the pilot? It was on one of the news about this operation. He was known for collecting cotton. You know, that was his job before getting Jews, was collecting cotton. So obviously he knew some routes to get cotton,
which was in
Ethiopia.
So, but just to like, I was saying, the Hebrews in the 1970s that went to Israel was meeting some of these Ethiopian Jews that was being persecuted. So why would they hide the information that they are Ethiopian Jews? These Ethiopian Jews wasn't coming from America. These Ethiopian Jews was coming from Ethiopia. Now the question is, why were they Ethiopian Jews? The same African Americans was running into these Ethiopian Jews that was being persecuted. Now the Hebrews that's over there right now, they was being persecuted too. That's why they went vegan. They couldn't have no food. So they was the first vegan community because they couldn't get no food. This is stuff that come from their own mouths. You know, and like I said, that's one thing I do respect about them. They're a vegan community. They're like the restaurant in Atlanta is the first vegan restaurant in Atlanta. You know, so much respect for that. But man, they was being treated bad. You know, and to be there that long and still haven't took over in no way, shape, or form, that's not your land, bro. You have rights. You have a case. You have movement. You have stuff established if it was truly yours. There's no way you can have the knowledge of God and you can't get back what's yours. Stop believing that. The knowledge of God gonna get you back what's yours. It's point blank simple. If you don't have the knowledge, you ain't getting it back. It's just that simple. But the whole Bible is about taking the kingdom from Babylon and putting it back in God's hands. So yeah, religion, Babel, all this Babel is Babel. But I told y'all, wisdom was dressed in what? The sun, the moon under her feet, and 12 stars on her head, and she was in the wilderness. I don't know how much I can say that. How many people get that? Put me a one in the comments if you understand that. If you understand that wisdom that's clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, 12 stars on her head is in the wilderness right now. This woman is in the wilderness. This is Revelation. This woman is in the wilderness.
Revelations 12.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 1 and let's start at verse 1, which is describing this woman. Revelation 12. This is happening right now as we speak. But put me a 1 if you understand it.
Revelations 12 and 1.
Started yeah.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed.
A great what?
Wonder in heaven.
Now, this was a wonder. There appeared a great wonder. Now, wisdom make people what? Damn, I wonder. Moses wondered. Jesus even wondered. Now what? Now you wondering. But now you wondering to find God. You're not finna be wondering to be, I'm gonna wonder the rest of my life and I gotta go underground and that's what I'm gonna find out when I meet God. No. Now you're gonna wonder and find God. But I want y'all to catch that. This is a great wonder that's happening.
A woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. Upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
So this woman was powerful. This woman was above the sun. This woman was clothed with the sun. She was wearing the sun. I don't think y'all hear it. I don't think you hear it. Me personally, I don't think you hear it. But this woman was clothed. She was wearing the sun as her garment. She wasn't praising the sun. She was wearing the sun as her garment. That's how bright it was. That's bright. That's bright. Her garments was the sun. The moon was her footstool. It was under her feet. The moon. No praise to the moon. It was under her feet. She walked on it. And then what? The stars was her crown. Like I said, I don't know how do y'all really get it. I don't think. But this woman is a wonder. So if you're not wondering about the right thing right now, you ain't on that narrow path. And it's narrow to hear this. This is narrow. This is narrow information. What are you talking about? Nah, I don't believe that, man. Cut that off, man. Keep it. What a drink at, man? What a smoke at, man? What popping tonight? These ain't Jews. Y'all don't get this. We don't consider this Jews. How much money they gonna make us? Oh shit, they ain't gonna make us no money, man. Ain't gonna make that shit. But see this woman right here, she'll make you leave that money, that club, that American dream, that religion. This woman, because remember all that, this woman is wearing it. That's her outfit. See, so because remember, there's no lie without the truth. So when you got the truth, you wear the lies. That's how I know you see me. Because the one that's telling the truth is bright. Because it's hidden in every spot. It's above everything. There's no lie without the truth. But let me be quiet. Let's read that verse. I want y'all to get it now. What this woman is clothed with.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she being with child cried, traveling in birth, and in pain to be delivered.
So, as this woman is present, birth pains begin to happen. Now, what are these birth pains that's going to take place? Is it the birth of a nation? What are these birth pains that this woman is going to cause? Because the truth hurts, right? So, when the firstborn come into the earth, that brightness is going to hurt a lot of people. That brightness will hurt a lot of people when God firstborn becomes upon them. Now, I want to give a precept to this because this is a scripture we overlook. Revelation 1:7. Now, I really like the NIV read. The NIV read. It read more plain. I'm a plain dude. I ain't no Shakespeare scholar.
1:7. You want me to get the NIV or?
Yeah.
Behold, he cometh with the clouds. He cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindred of the earth shall wail because of him. Shall wail because of him.
They shall wail because of him.
It says wall. Oh.
It said wall. Well.
Oh, well. Yeah,
W-A-I-L. W-A-I-L.
Well, because of him, even so, amen.
Now let's go back to that verse where it says pain. It say pain gonna come upon him for her. And she was gonna give birth. It's gonna hurt people to see Christ walk the earth. It's gonna hurt people to hear Christ speak. It's gonna hurt people to see Christ speak. Christ's teaching is gonna hurt.
And she being with child cried, traveling in birth and pain to be delivered.
Mother Mary, huh?
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
So,
heads.
You had another great wonder. What did it say? A great what?
And there appeared another great wonder in heaven.
So, again, another great woman in heaven. Now, you had this beautiful woman with the sun, 12 stars on her head, moon under her feet, in heaven, in the mind. Then you had another wonder, deception. They had what? They had 10
And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads.
7 heads.
And 10 horns.
So 7 mean completion. So it was completely over the head of the earth. The 10 horns represent, like keep it 100. That mean the information it's like the information that's going out. These are measurements. And then it has 7 what?
Crowns.
Crowns. Like you got 10 commandments. You got 10 horns. It's a figurative number. So you got 7 crowns. That means it completely ruled the earth. It controlled the earth, and it completely ruled the earth. Which is the lie, deception. That's all they're saying. It's like the woman is clothed, is pure. She above all the stars, all the angels. This wisdom is fantastic. No outfit is better than what this woman got on. That's what they're saying. That's God wonder. But then you got the devil wonder, which is the deception.
And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Now, ain't that the story when the Satan came to tempt Jesus? Mm-hmm. Same story, right? Soon as Christ got the spirit, the devil showed up to tempt Christ. Why is this story happening in Revelation? Why is this story happening in Revelation? Because it was a vision of end time prophecy. They showed you a movie, but the movies was what was going to happen in the last days. The movies was not what happened 2,000 years ago. But again, the devil deceived the whole world. I told you it has 7 heads and 7 crowns. 7 heads and 7 crowns. At the same time, this woman is right here. You still gonna go with the 7 heads and 7 crowns.
And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne.
So Christ was caught up to, like, I can't touch this. M.T. Hammer, they can't touch this. The devil no longer tempt Christ, because even in the Bible, the devil tempted Christ. Christ passed, so what? You're on another level. Devil can't touch him no more. Once you with God, the devil can't touch you. That's a lie. If you the devil's still after me because you ain't with God. That's the only way the devil's still after you, because you ain't got the truth. If you got the truth, the devil can't touch you. If you have the truth, you accepted the truth, the devil can't touch you. But see, a lot of people ain't accepted the truth, so when the devil come test them, they lose. Because they haven't accepted the truth. Even you can know the truth, but if you really haven't accepted, you won't pass the devil test.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
So God had a plan for this woman after she birthed the male child. That she was going to go in the wilderness to what? Give birth to the rest of Israel. But then what's going to happen? Jesus not doing this.
The woman's doing it.
It's the woman doing it. But the woman is the what? That's why when you deal with the spirit, y'all, the woman was given a feminine name. I mean, wisdom was given a feminine name. You know, Solomon said her precious. What did it say? I forgot how the scripture goes. Something about her preciousness is much more than rubies and diamonds. You know, to really understand God wisdom. You know, it's above everything on the face of the earth. You know, that's why it was a sacrifice for it. You got to offer yourself up to God to receive God wisdom. You know, that's the story of Solomon. Solomon offers himself up to God to receive. Solomon didn't want the jewelry. Solomon didn't want the gold. He wanted wisdom. So he gave himself to God, then God offers it to him.
For wisdom is more precious than rubies.
Yeah.
And nothing you desire can compare with her.
She dressed in the sun, y'all. The moon under her feet. The moon not under money feet. The moon not under government, not under the moon on top of the government. But this wisdom is under, it's their bright, man.
What?
We stop there.
Right here.
Yeah, we're going to read to 11. What it was? Yeah, we're going to read to 11.
And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels.
Now, this will throw the story out because we've been lied to about who Michael is. Go to Daniel 12 and let's see who Michael is. Let's see who Michael is. Now, Daniel 12 is about the last days. Daniel 12 is about the last days, y'all. So little. So let's go to Daniel 12 and 1. Let's see who Michael is. Not what we have been told, but let's see who Michael is according to Scripture. And that's why this war is happening now, but really, we have prevailed. That's why we can't get no interviews.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people.
Now let's stop. It say what? At what? At that time. What time? What time Michael gonna stand up? In history?
At that time.
Michael stands up at that time in Revelation. At that time when who? Wisdom give birth to a male child. That's when Michael stand up. That's Michael. That's why Michael prevailed. But see, when Michael prevailed, this is when this wisdom, this is when this woman gets the chance to go to the wilderness. Because what? Truth has won. They flee. They run. They don't want to deal with the truth.
And
That's it.
that's it. Okay.
I just want let's go back to Revelation. I want y'all to focus on Revelation. I just want to give you the precept just in case you might be denying it.
I'm right here.
You read that again. Because Michael finna take a stand now because what? Well, you know who Michael coming from? You know, that's like your mother, the queen. Shit, you got something to say. Michael got something to say. Michael gonna take a stand against the devil because shit, look who his mama is. Look who his mama is. I don't think that.
And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
So we don't understand. Since truth is on earth, the lies no longer reign supreme. We see this. People don't believe that shit we was told. But why though? It's something that people don't see that's in the earth. It didn't say everybody fought the devil and his angels. It say Michael and his angels fought the devil. You get it? Those who with the one who has the wisdom to defeat the devil and cast it down. So a lot of people don't know when the devil is defeated, you don't get rid of it. The devil ain't got rid of right now. The devil is just cast down. That means the devil has no place in heaven no more. The truth has no place in supremacy no more. It's garbage now. Nobody ever believed that. But let's see what's finna take place. Because the devil is what? Cast to earth. Because the world was already deceived, so the devil wasn't after you. You was already deceived. The devil will start becoming after you when you start what? Adhering to the truth.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation, the strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
So once the devil was cast down, then came what?
The accuser.
No, salvation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Came salvation.
So salvation came after what? The devil was cast to the earth. So it say, now come what? The salvation of our God and the kingdom. But while Christianity been going on, the devil been ruling. But not no more. Deception ain't here. The world know Ethiopia is a biblical land. The kids know. You know. You just in denial.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives until the death.
What a verse we read earlier? We're way down here, 15.
You want me? I'll just read it. I'll read through it.
Okay.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
I wanna read, touch on that part.
All right.
Well, yeah, y'all. So it says, "Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth," because some people have been a part of the rapture, right? Some people have seen the wisdom and they have came up to a higher elevation. They're not a part of the low stuff that's on earth. But those who are in the watered down information and those who have an earthly understanding and haven't connected themselves to the spirit, you in great wrath, because the devil is accusing you of so many things. So you're so mind driven, you can't even live life right now. You don't know what to do. Because you haven't accepted the wisdom of God that's in the earth to remove you from what? Wondering. To remove you from what? Knowing if you're right. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know. Ain't no such thing as that when you have the Spirit of God. You don't. That's why you don't do nothing but get better. That's why we ain't been getting better. We've been getting worse because we ain't been doing what was right. So I want you to read that verse again where it say, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth, and to separate the people of heaven.
Therefore rejoice, ye heaven, and ye that dwell in them.
Ooh. That you that dwell in them? How do these people dwell in heaven? And how are these people on earth? How is that happening?
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
Now, why the devil got a short time right now? Deception is finna pass, y'all. This stuff is happening now. That's why they're on the corners, bringing you Christ coming out the sky. That shit finna be over with. But since it's over with, I'm going out with a bang. So now I'm finna put people on the corner. I'm finna put people on social media. They finna gather everybody that has earthly understanding. This is what's happening right now. It coming right. This is why so much information is coming at you. You don't even want more people. I don't even want to know it. No one just want to live. But it's coming. As Ralph, we here to celebrate, but we also here to tear down. But we here to celebrate at the same time because this is a celebration for us. This is not a moment of, oh man, I'm gonna be in trouble forever, man. No, y'all, this is really a celebration. Get with it. Yeah.
And when the dragon saw that he was cast onto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the male child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly onto the wilderness, unto her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time, which the...
So you know when people say the verse of you gotta take up your cross to follow Christ, it says the deception persecuted the woman. They laughed at the woman. They asked the woman, what you got on? What you wearing that for? It's hot outside. What you got a jacket on for? Why you got those colors on? They even said, take that fake ass crown off. It ain't real. That's what they said. So to follow Christ, now it says this same woman birthed a male child that was going to rule all nations. But this same woman that birthed this male child that's clothed with the sun, the deception persecuted her. So anybody that attached themselves to their wisdom, what happened to them? They got persecuted. This is why the scriptures say you must take up a cross to follow Christ. You don't get friends. You don't get friends when you follow Christ. Trust me. Trust me. Hey, ask me how I know, and I tell you so.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
Don't these people be talking about Yaju when Yaju ain't around?
All the time.
They spraying water, huh? Because where I come from,
always come up.
You know, they talking about Yaju casting out water. Like I'm the only so-called man that's speaking about God. But it's something about Yaju wisdom that make people spread water about him. I don't know what it is. You know. But so, Revelation 12, y'all, is a real good chapter, man, that really, describes the birth of Christ, and the birth of the 144. Those that separate themselves from the madness, attach themselves to the Lamb to do the work of God, and fulfill the prophecy, and not be of religion. A lot of people think when you read the Bible is a prophecy. A lot of people don't look at it that way. That's why they follow religion. But once you follow yourself, once you understand prophecy, you're able to attach yourself to prophecy. But if you don't know it's prophecy, you can't attach yourself to it. So everybody have attached themselves to history. We're not back in the future. We are the future. And that's what we establish, the future. We got another guest, y'all. And then... Okay. I can make me a thing of my chocolate. Man. I finished that. I'm good.
Oh, he's gone.
But y'all, man, you know, like I say, y'all, it's so much we should be talking about, and so much we should be building on. But like I say, it's so much, you know, that says the serpent opened up his mouth as a flood after this woman. So this pure wisdom is not really being heard, and a lot of people don't want to attach themselves to it because it comes with persecution. That's why to follow Christ, you gotta take up your cross. This is stuff it's not a religion thing; it's a truth thing. You know, it's like going against the grain. Being a black sheep, you gotta take up your cross. Shit. So you think if the truth show up, you're not gonna be different from your family? That's madness. I'm like, shit, I ain't got the truth if I ain't different. That's why so many people have accepted something new. Because it make them feel different, because we know we enter into something new. We know we finna transfer over into something new. We can't follow the same old thing. So we seeking the new, we just have accepted the wrong new. And that's the wrath of the devil. That's why you're being accused. You're not being set free. Put these fringes on or you're going to hell. Damn, man, you accuse me, man. You ain't even tell me the truth yet. You accusing me. Shit, tell me the truth first. Then accuse me.
They can't judge you for things when they haven't been judged either. So everybody's seeking truth out of everybody that haven't been judged.
To see if they have the truth.
You know? To know the judgment. Like, that's what everybody doing. You're in these religions and camps and churches.
Come to church, pay your tithes, or God ain't gonna love you. Damn, bro, I ain't got no money today.
Peace to your guest.
Hello.
All right, what's going on? Peace. Give me 5 minutes.
Peace. Do you hear me properly, or I may
We can
change?
hear you. We
Okay.
can hear you.
Yeah. The things that I want to speak is the name of Ethiopia. Why do you specifically pick this country? I mean, why is that the name? Because the name itself is not actually referred to the modern state of the Ethiopia, so-called Ethiopia.
So what are you saying? Like, why are we not calling it Abyssinia instead of like?
No. Abyssinia is so one ethnic role like being. It was not even the name of the land. I mean, this Ethiopia is invented by the Greek philosophers, referring to the land of the black. Basically, Nigerian can be Ethiopian, Sudan can be Ethiopian. Any country that is dominated by black can be Ethiopian.
So we're not talking about just the modern day Ethiopia. We're talking about the ancient Ethiopia that had multiple regions. It wasn't just that little small area.
Where location? Which location, like specifically? Which one you are referring?
Most of East Africa, Sudan, Eritrea, Somalia, a little bit of Kenya, Uganda.
So you are like referring to the Kush, maybe historically.
Yeah, that's connected to biblical prophecy.
It may be, but it would much better for you to promote the name the Kush, because the Ethiopia is meaningless to the name of Ethiopia. Even the modern state of Ethiopia has nothing to do with biblical.
Know what Lakush is. A lot of people never even heard of Lakush. So we want to reach the people that already. Everybody's connected to the maps that we were growing up to look at daily, in school. So most minds only know Ethiopia. They don't know Abyssinia. They don't even know older names. So we have to connect it to what the minds look at right now.
Okay, but look, before you mention, when you say directly Ethiopia, people are like thinking you speaking about the modern state of Ethiopia, which is like 7-8 region where they have a complete different background religiously or historically or in any means. They have nothing to do. Even the Ethiopians they themselves agree with the name of Ethiopia, because it's not defined in their own ancient historically speaking.
Well,
so when you say Ethiopia,
we agree with that. I said we agree with that. Ethiopia wasn't the original name. Like, we know that. We say that all the time. We know that, but most people only think of that region as Ethiopia. So we're going to name what people mostly think of, which is Ethiopia. The whole world is divided, just like Africa. Some Kenyans don't want to be called Ethiopia. Some Ethiopians don't want to be called black. Some Ethiopians don't want to be called a lot of things. So we're talking about the ancient Ethiopia that have been also scattered around the world, because that's where most slaves came through. Most slave masters came through to pick up Ethiopians, because they had a connection when it came to the biblical prophecy.
Yeah, look. If we speak the well-known Bible, there is nothing word that mention Ethiopia, even the historically before even first century or after that. Like,
So
there is nothing.
do you believe in the Bible or not?
I believe the Bible, but
Okay, so
in sense that
the Bible also talks about Ethiopia and Israel being connected.
no, there's nothing. There's nothing you can find from Genesis to Revelation. I mean, come on. It
So
says the land of the
can
Cush. Wait.
so can I get the
Wait.
scripture before we go?
Yeah, but you have to show me the ancient manuscript, not the modern translation. What I'm saying is the ancient, the Greek says the land of the Cush and the land of Sheba. The land of the Sheba has nothing to do with Ethiopia. Basically, it's Yemen and the Red Sea. It was like thousands of years.
So,
And the land of the Cush.
are you saying Cush is not Ethiopia? I'm confused. I'm confused on
Yeah,
why.
Cush.
What is your disconnection with Ethiopia? Because it's just a name. Hold on, brother. It's just a name. We're obviously talking about the people of that region.
Yeah,
So
but
we're not talking about just the name of Ethiopia. We're talking about the people.
I want to know specifically the ancient people, called themselves Ethiopia. Now, you ask me what the Kush historically was in Sudan and part of modern day Egypt. This is like 1,000 of years living there. But when I say I want to know which Ethiopian ancient people you referring to. If you say the modern, there is nothing to do with the Bible, because it says only two things. It says the Kush of land and the land of Sheba, the queen of Sheba. So I just want to know where you actually found the name Ethiopia in the ancient, in the Bible.
Brother, we're saying that obviously in the ancient biblical manuscripts are not going to be modern day texts. It's not going to be translated. So we understand that, but most people read the translated. Even Ethiopians, they read the translated. So
you said I find the ancient
brother, hold on. Do you have the original text?
What do you mean
you have
original
the
Greek
original manuscripts before it was even Greek, because it was in Ge'ez, which is Ethiopian ancient language. Do you have it in Ge'ez? Do you read it in Ge'ez?
I read it, Ge'ez, of course. I haven't spoken Ge'ez.
So do you have the Bible in Ge'ez? Can you read Amos 9 and 7?
Right now, I don't have the book with me. Look, the Ge'ez is the Ge'ez what the 4th century was actually translated, the 4th century, and that was translated from the Aramaic and Greek, not directly. Ge'ez itself was the original.
So are you saying that the Bible came from Greek first? It didn't come from Ethiopia. That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying Aramaic. Do you know Aramaic? Like the language Aramaic?
Amharic? Or
no. Amharic was not even exist. Aramaic is a second language of the Bible, written from the 1st century.
Okay.
It is an ancient language in around the Israel state, modern day. It's Greek and Aramaic, not Ge'ez or Amharic. It has nothing to do with this language.
So the Bible didn't come from Ethiopia.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe Ge'ez was the first language of the Bible.
You believe it came from Israel?
Yeah, yes, of course.
And why do you believe it came from Israel?
because the four gospel, the New Testament was written by the four gospel and Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. This language was the main language of written the Bible in the first century. So the four,
did the Torah come before the New Testament?
Yes, the Torah. Yes, it's yes, of course.
Okay, so the Torah was the Torah in
Hebrew.
Was the Torah in Israel before Ethiopia?
Yes, Hebrew. Yeah, written in Hebrew, not Amharic.
So why does it say that the Ethiopia has the oldest Bible?
Who says that? That's the mystic. That's like the fantasy fabrication.
So why did the British Empire have to come to Ethiopia to steal biblical manuscripts in 1868?
Look, many empire came to Ethiopia, occupied, colonized. It doesn't mean that they said it's true.
No, but why did they go to get biblical manuscripts? Because they went and got
because the Ge'ez written in 4th century. The other way, the other language, the Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek was translated, but the Ge'ez was original because Ge'ez was written from the original in the 4th century, because the Aksum Empire accepted the Christianities and they converted all the people, and the Bible were written by the native language of the Aksumite Empire, Ge'ez. So Ge'ez has nothing to do with the mother state of Ethiopia. It is a distinct language, a distinct kingdom.
And where it come from, Israel?
Huh?
You say Ge'ez is not from Ethiopia, so where does it come from?
It's from the kingdom of Aksum. Aksum is a distinct kingdom that has its own territory and people and native language. That native language is Ge'ez.
I know. Where does it come from?
From the kingdom of Aksum.
Oh, and where is that kingdom?
What do you mean?
Where is the kingdom of Aksum?
In the modern state, Eritrea, like Eritrea and Tigray, so the Red Sea.
You said
the Red Sea. You said you said in Israel, the modern day Israel.
No. Eritrea.
Yeah, Eritrea.
Yeah, like
Eritrea is Ethiopia.
No, I thought they are not different. They are not Ethiopian.
Brother.
Look. I can. You confused.
Brother.
You know you joking.
Menelik is the one that sold the piece of land before it was Eritrea. That's why. That's why Johannes was able to be on the throne. So he's from Eritrea.
That's not true.
So did Johannes not sit on the throne, or
look. I can explain to you now, right? That's the confusion. Eritrea existed thousands of years before the name came. The people live there. They speak not language called Eritrea. They speak Tigrinya, which is the son of Ge'ez. So people who are the Red Sea Tigrinya speaking, they are not Ethiopian. They are self-sufficient people.
Okay, brother.
My God. Eritrea gained independence in 1991. But it doesn't mean they was Ethiopian. They was before Eritrean speaking Tigrinya. They lived there for thousands of years.
Brother, what does Ethiopia mean?
To me, Ethiopia means the land of the black. That's the definition.
Okay, brother.
But I really don't know which
Johannes,
land.
Johannes dressed like an Abyssinia. Johannes was known to dress like an Abyssinia, brother. Everybody in that region was with the Abyssinia because they was, like you said, it was the land of the black. So it was all Abyssinia, brother. So the thing, like I said, you could divide it all day. Like right now, we as African Americans, we separate ourselves from New Yorkers. People in down south, we separate ourselves from New York. We talk different, we dress different, so but we're the same people, man, at the end of the day. So
look, I'm not speaking about Yeah,
Listen,
I know. I'm not speaking about the separation. I'm not speaking that. You ask me what is the meaning of the Ethiopia. The word, it says the burnt face in the Greek, because they invent the name. But it basically referring metaphorically the land of the black, and I don't know which black land. Which is it, like South Africa? Is it like anyone who on the planet live it black? They are Ethiopian, basically.
well, bro, like, okay, brother, you know, like I said, that's you know, the thing you gotta understand, brother. The Jews are scattered. It's Bible prophecy. The Jews are having not came back to their original land yet, and the Jews are African descent. This is facts. This is why we have this operation up here where they took the Ethiopian Jews and brought them to Israel. The Ethiopian Jews couldn't connect themselves to Israel. They connected themselves to East Africa. You know, so this is stuff, man, this is stuff that has colonizers, has forced the world to believe. We know Israel is a people, it's not a land. Israel have never been a piece of land until 1948 when the colonizers created it. You know, so these are facts that we know. That's how we know it ain't an ancient land. They didn't create Ethiopia, they changed the name. They didn't create Ethiopia. Ethiopia has its history. You don't have no history in Israel. And Bible history is Ethiopian history. That's why you have Ethiopian kings that proclaim they was from the bloodline. And you don't have you don't have Israel kings that say they're from the bloodline. You don't have that.
And they created that Israel. Look. Hold on, brother. They created that Israel to establish a Jerusalem. Like that's one of the most important parts
that they don't really catch.
Christ is going to bring in the new Jerusalem, not America or the British Empire.
Yeah, look. I'm not disagreeing with everything what he say. There is some aspect that I disagree. The foundation of your promotion, the foundation, where it says the land of the Ethiopia as ancient people and publicly mentioned, and at the same time you don't know deeply about the modern day Ethiopia, where they have a different language, a different even the Greek, the Greek itself. You really don't know. You believe that the Bible, the ancient Bible, rooted by the Greeks, and that's the problem. I disagree with that. So the foundation of your titles is a false. But when you go in other way, there is some aspect you speak truth about Israel, for example. I mean, the Israel people exist for thousands of years before their name called Israel. You know, like I don't depend on the colonial era where they line the countries and they give a new name. I don't agree with this concept.
I get what you're saying.
Well, brother, like the colonizers.
I think
you got what you got to understand. The colonizers have always controlled information, and the people who colonized the world hid the original biblical land. This is facts. They don't want the colonizers do not want the world to know where the biblical land is truly at. Now, this is facts. So, if the whole world has been taught the biblical land is Israel, we know that's false. Because even the Bible lets you know the devil deceived the whole world. So, Israel being a biblical land is not a myth. Ethiopia being a biblical land will be the myth. You see what I'm saying? That's the myth. Because we can trace people who sat on the throne of David and proclaim to be of the King of Kings. Actually got statues. You can't go in Israel. If David defeated the giant, where's David's statue, him showing him the King of Kings? Where's his picture? There ain't nobody drawing. Wasn't no artist back then. That's bull crap. You see what I'm saying? So the whole false story that the biblical history was created by the colonizers to make you believe it. They created biblical history to hide the original history, the era of the princes. You got an era of the princes in Ethiopia. You don't have the era of the princes in Israel.
You got nothing in
Israel. You ain't got no era of the princes. But you got the era of princes in Ethiopia. You also have the Keber Negus. You see what I'm saying? All that's connected to the first kings and second kings. And the Bible talk about how the kings don't fall because they're not following God. And that's what happened to the Ethiopian kingdom. It fell, just as the Bible prophesies.
But they think the Bible they made Israel as the biblical prophecy of Jesus coming 2,000 years ago. You know, that's what they trying to connect their Israel to have
Yeah,
history.
they have history.
when it's gonna come in the last days. It didn't happen 2,000 years ago.
And that's all we're saying.
Well, the things that I just disagree with the Ethiopia being the first biblical nation. That's the thing that I just can't accept. And I'm as the speak.
Are you Eritrean?
I'm Eritrean. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there is people in Eritrea that speak the official language is Tigrinya, and there is people who speak like us exactly the same Tigrinya in Ethiopia, where there are like 6 million, and those people we don't consider them as Ethiopian, even in ancient or modern day Ethiopia, and so I'm just cannot understand the name. I don't understand the name itself, and the ancient people from the Bible directly connected as Ethiopian. So that's just cannot accept.
Yeah,
But
I definitely get what you're saying, but we use Ethiopia as a universal name because that's what people understand. You know, most people don't understand what Abyssinia is. We say Abyssinia, people are like, what you talking about?
That's what I told them.
So Ethiopia is a universal name to show people East Africa is where all this stuff come from. That's all we saying at the end of the day.
But when you go deep today, if you go to Ethiopia, visit, if you ask, like there is, I think Ethiopia is 1.5 million, 100 million. If you ask them, like mostly 75% will get offensive, like what do you mean? But the others, the main ruling class, they be very happy, glorify the name of Ethiopia. They see publicly connection, and they very, very happy to speak about Ethiopia. But there is only the ruling class, which is 30 million. But if you go further from the ruling class to other like Oromo, Tigrinya, and others, they get very offensive and they get like aggressive. Because they don't like the name itself and the history and the background.
Okay, yeah.
I am one of them. Like, unfortunately, I am one of them. So that's what I mean speaking.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm really have good discussion with you. So thank you for having me here.
All right. Appreciate you for coming up, bro. No problem.
Sure.
Anytime, man.
Bye.
And like I say, and that's why, you know, we gotta understand we talking to Americans, so we trying to bring them to this kind of information.
Yeah.
So we can't give them, you know, names that they, you know, that they can't even research. Well, they could research in a way, but when we say Ethiopia, people already resonate to what we're talking about. It's not to talk down on people who carry their ancient titles or none of that. Like I said, this is for teaching purposes. This is for awareness. You know, we can't bring awareness with a lot of these, you know, ancient names that's not surface that people used to seeing. You know, so but yeah, I definitely get where the brother coming from. He just more got respect for the ancient, you know, the ancient way. Because Ethiopia is a colonized name. It's no secret, but that's why we say Ethiopia is colonized, because Ethiopia is a colonized name. It's a name come from the colonizers. Why do you glorify it? You wouldn't even glorify that name if you wasn't colonized.
Peace, peace.
What's going on? Peace, peace. We can't hear you if you're speaking. We can't hear you. But I don't understand why you believe Israel is the promised land.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So maybe he'll playing devil's advocate or something. People like that be devil's advocate.
See what you want, what you know. Peace, Brown. Brown, are you there?
Well, folks, I got too much time, y'all. But like I say,
Good morning.
Going on, peace, peace.
All right, all right. Well, it's a lot. First and most, I just want to thank you both for this informational setting. Every now and then, I hop on this platform. I see you guys doing some good work, and that's amazing. And thank you so much on behalf of all Ethiopians. But on a couple of issues, I feel like no disrespect, but again, I'm fully aware that you guys are doing an amazing thing here, spreading out good information. But Ethiopia was not colonized. I can see and argue until my heart is out. There were some key positions from 1935 to 1940. I believe it was that 5 years when the emperor was in exile. What is the basis that y'all assume, for the lack of better words, that Ethiopia was colonized?
Well, Ethiopia is a colonized name. It's a name that comes from the colonizers. So by Ethiopians appraising that, let you know a lot of influence that's in Ethiopia is by the colonizers.
What colonizer? The scramble of Africa happened in 1884, around that area, and a lot of countries were,
British
colonized by the Europeans. Ethiopia was not one of them. Why are we even coining the term colonization and Ethiopia in the same sentence? We're the symbol of freedom and independence for Africa.
Hold on, brother. Just like you said, this is not to disrespect Ethiopia. This to reveal the problem. We're not here to disrespect Ethiopia. That's why we have a petition to return the Ethiopian artifacts. That's why we speak on Ethiopia. So, but if you don't know you're sick, you won't look for no medicine. So by Ethiopians thinking they are not sick, they can't receive the medicine from God. So this is why we're saying this at the end of the day. So it's way bigger than emotions or what somebody think. Because God is no respecter of persons. This is why these things are written. The truth is no respecter of persons. Because the truth don't care about how you feel. But when you look at these facts, Ethiopia is not what your ancestors called itself. Hold up. Where did that name come from?
Okay, I think we're getting caught up in the ancient terminologies and history and religion embedded in it. Let's just try to separate the religious aspect of it and speak from a standpoint of history that Ethiopia was colonized. How do we get to a point where a nation that has fought and retained its independence in the entire continent,
well, brother,
is to be called that it has been colonized? As someone who's from there,
but you're not trying to hear us out
to swallow that, because I had the privilege to travel through Africa before I moved to the US. You can go anywhere in Africa and it's pretty much the same. In fact, the only country that you truly feel like there is a history, there is an African identity that has been preserved for generations, it's only in Ethiopia. And that is because, as an evidence that we have kept it the way it is today. I'm not saying it's perfect, but we have never been colonized. So if you add the religious relics into it, that Ethiopia, the burnt fish, the Kush, the Bible, and all that, that's a separate conversation from the historical framework of not being colonized, because we don't have any element of being colonized in Ethiopia. Tell me one reason why Ethiopia is colonized.
Hear us, brother. You gotta hear us out of why we say that first.
So brother, why does Ethiopia have a democracy and not a kingdom?
Lord have mercy. We live in 2025.
So
things do change. Globalization has an impact. That does not mean in the pure sense of the term that the country was colonized. We evolved. Yes,
brother, that's how you govern your people.
Brother. And then the facts of why Ethiopia involved, America has a big part in it. See, America is a part of the colonizers. America taught most of your people. The people that got rid of the throne was influenced by colonizers.
They went to school.
So
in America,
this is how you colonize someone without them even knowing it. You put their own leaders in position to get rid of what truly matters. And the people start thinking like the government. It don't matter no more. It was evolution. It was change. Yeah, that's what somebody tell you when they did you wrong. Oh, don't worry about it. It had to happen to you. It was change. Yeah, that's what people throw out there. But when we speak on colonization, this is what we speak on. This is why we say Ethiopia is colonized. That's why you have a white Jesus in Ethiopia now. Ethiopia got the first paintings of Jesus as a black man. How can an uncolonized country now have the colonized Jesus in Ethiopia? See what I'm saying? Like, all this shows is colonized. It's facts. Matter of fact, it's landlocked. Ethiopia don't even control what goes in and comes out. The Italians do. They've been doing for years. So when you understand this, brother, it's colonized, brother. And like I say, this is not to take away from what Ethiopia ancient is for, because the Bible talk about the ancient kings. They was gonna be towed down. Their land was gonna be destroyed. Foreigners was gonna inhabit it. So all these, but see, Ethiopia don't know its own history. Because if I ask you this question, brother man,
Yeah.
what makes Ethiopia special?
Oh, thank you. Well, we did not make Ethiopia anything special. Go to Africa. Any country in Africa, you will find every similar thing from country to country. If you go to my country, from one region to another, it's a bowl of soup in terms of culture, identity, religion, you name it all. So for you to sit there and tell everyone that Ethiopia has been colonized and the colonizers had,
brother,
so to speak.
Brother. Hold on. No, you didn't answer the question. I asked you a simple question. What makes Ethiopia great?
Well, let me tell you this. Ethiopia is the only country that has its identity in the moment that we are talking now as if it has been 3,000 years. There is nothing that has changed except these evolutions due to globalization and here and there. Of course, I do not deny the fact that the Europeans had some impact. Most of our doctors were trained in Cuba and things of that nature. But that does not mean in of itself that colonization was the result of all this. How on earth is it, even the farming equipment that we use today, it is still that we've been using 3,000 years ago, sometime before the birth of Christ. It is as it was. If it was colonization, we would be infiltrated so much like the rest of Africa, we would not have our own identity.
Brother.
Nah.
When you have to go learn from the colonizer is not going to uncolonize you. He's going to teach you to colonize yourself.
I feel like I think I'm
You feel don't matter. Oh, brother, I don't want to ask you this. Is the colonizer your friend? That's a simple question. That's a simple yes or no.
I will answer that.
Is the colonizer your friend?
It's not my friend. It's not my friend. But let me ask you this. What is colonization? Let's start with that.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So what is colonization? Is changing the mind. If I control your mind, I control the body. So right now, people are being controlled because they don't have the correct food for thought. So the way they think is the way the colonizer wants you to think. This is colonization. Because right now is nobody standing over black Americans. Ain't nobody standing over us. We can do what we want to do. We got money. We got everything we need, but we colonize. Because we ain't got no mind. So we ain't going nowhere. We ain't building nothing. We ain't coming together because we are colonizers. Because you know who taught us? Our colonizers.
I think the African American history, it's unique in a sense that it's hard to depict with Ethiopia without no disrespect. Like I said.
No, bro.
Yeah, but in America, it's entirely different conversation.
Hold up. No, it's not a different conversation.
It is.
Hold up. When I asked you what make Ethiopia great, you spoke on culture. Culture go anywhere. You didn't speak on what make Ethiopia great. Because what really makes Ethiopia great is what the kings of Ethiopia did. That's why Ethiopia is great. So,
what you might be able to read or research is what you can find on your own resources in terms of publication. Ethiopia existed before the kings. We have an era. I don't know if you have heard a term called Chikashum. Those are like regional warlords, right? Ethiopia
warlord,
was still powerful during that time before
brother,
any royalty took over.
the era of the princes. The Bible talk about the era of the princes, and then rise up a king of kings.
This
So
this
you
this
right.
is not
I'm
in the
saying.
Bible. This
Yes,
is
it
just
is, brother.
Ethiopian
This is what,
history.
brother. But this is what the Bible is talking about, though. This is what this is. Hold up. The colonizers colonized us with the Bible,
Yes,
changing
with that I
what
agree.
the
There are
Bible.
countries that Europeans went with a gun and a Bible in their hand. That is true.
No,
We're
no, no.
not
Hold
gonna
on.
argue with that.
But no, brother. You gotta understand this. Where does the oldest Bible come from?
The oldest Bible, I would assume, I'm not a religious person, but I would assume it came from Aramaic or Hebrew. That's where the land where Jesus walked and he taught the Torah and everything.
I know, but the oldest Bible is known to come from Ethiopia.
Isn't that where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls? Is that in Ethiopia?
Yeah, I don't know if it was exactly in Ethiopia, but I know it was somewhere over there.
It's not in Ethiopia. It's in Israel.
No, it wasn't in Israel. They didn't
Look
find
it up, my brother. I mean, no disrespect, but the Dead Sea Scrolls, they were dug and found in the desert.
They brought them to Israel. They found them in like the 1940s, something like that. But it was brought to Israel. They weren't found in Israel. But that's
And
another
even,
story.
and even then, it was not even complete. But
brother, the only country that got his name on the Bible is Ethiopia. Why? Why does Ethiopia is the only country that got his name on the Bible? And matter of fact, Enoch came before everybody. Why is
actually, Egypt is there. There are a lot of countries that.
No,
there
ain't no Egypt Bible. No, brother, it's no Egypt. I say name is like you got an Ethiopian Bible. You don't have an Egypt Bible. You don't have an Israel Bible. You don't have an American Bible. You have an Ethiopian Bible. You got also Enoch as an Ethiopian prophet. He the Ethiopian prophet. It's no other country that has stuff like that with his name on it.
But what has that got to do with the conversation that we're having? That is of a religious thing.
This is why Ethiopia is the biblical land.
No.
This is where it comes from. Who built the first church? Where was the first church built?
The first church?
You know what I'm saying? People don't even know. What was the first church?
The first church is going to be in Jerusalem after the death of. I mean, they were the disciples that carried the gospel.
Brother, I'm talking about real life. The first church was built in Ethiopia. The one that built in the ground. They say angels built that church.
That was actually, even in history, we're taught as they were attempting to replicate the second Jerusalem. Are you referring to Lalibela?
But you know why you taught that? That's colonized information. This is why Tedros was locking these people up.
No,
so now they teach you
time frame. Lalibela was built after the second Jerusalem or whatever. They just were trying to replicate it. That makes more sense if you look at it from a neutral standpoint instead of using it as a justification for a line of argument.
Brother, they found the Dead Sea Scrolls that you was talking about.
Yeah,
they found it in 1947.
In Ethiopia?
In the area in the modern day Israel.
Exactly.
But they found it a year before they created Israel in 1948.
They brought that shit to Israel.
They brought that shit to
they brought that to Israel. Don't struggle one found in no Israel,
That's
man.
crazy.
Like I said, bro, the devil deceived the whole world. That's just this is what we have to see. And that's the only thing that can humble anybody. If you understand that no matter where you from, no matter who you are, it's a strong possibility that you don't have the truth. And what you have been taught is a lie. That's a strong possibility. And I think if we don't really accept that or either adhere to that, because the meat gonna inherit the earth. And see, this is what the colonizers have done. They have fed us bread with yeast. And a lot of us on our high hearts till we can't even listen to one another because what the colonizers taught us. Now, we must all sit back and think, okay, if Ethiopia wasn't colonized, the name changed, the history changed.
The government changed.
The government changed. You know, all the funding comes from foreign nations. The Italians, after the Italians left, the British came in. Don't you know after the Italians left, the British army stayed like 12 more years in Ethiopia, governing Ethiopia, and also unaliving other lords of the region while they was there because of the fight that was going on. So the Italians are working for Great Britain. I don't think y'all get this. The Italians is working for the crown. So the Italians is in Ethiopia on behalf of Great Britain. Like, do Ethiopians understand that?
Yes, a lot of us. But I think what is missing from the conversation is what happened during those era. Okay, let's give you a step ahead and say there was in fact a huge presence of foreign countries, be it the Britain or the Italian. But when the emperor was in exile, it's not like every Ethiopian, unlike the rest of what we might see in the rest of African continent, everybody did not just accept it and sat down. The Battle of Ottawa, it would be in vain if we go along this conversation. In fact, what historically took, in my own opinion, is that the Black Lion was a team of fighters that defended the nations until we have what we have today. So while there were attempts, while there were positions that have been, I guess for the lack of better words, replaced by Italians during that 5-year era, it is not in the full sense of the term being colonized because the people were fighting actively, never gave up, never surrendered, and eventually they got what they wanted. And it was a fierce battle. So for you both to sit down and tell me that Ethiopia was colonized and there was nothing that was
that's
done,
emotions.
it makes
Listen,
no sense.
Brother, that's emotion. Listen, the Italians had planes. I don't care how strong you is or how brave you is. You cannot fight a plane. You cannot fight
they
planes
did.
coming over
They did.
you. I could be the
Check your sources. They did.
Brother, hold up. You know, it was a genocide happened at that time, brother.
Yes, genocide did happen in Addis Ababa. Yes.
No, all through Ethiopia. At the time Mona Lisa came in, why do you think Haile Selassie left? Because, brother, they had planes, they were dropping bombs. It was chaos. You couldn't, bravery couldn't stand a chance against the bomb coming down, brother. So that's what happened.
Here's what my issue is.
No.
I'll say this and I gotta go.
No. This is the part you're not hearing. When you look up Ethiopia, you don't find Ethiopia defeating the Italians in Haile Selassie time. Ethiopia defeated the Italians in Menelik time. So we have to stop lying and say Haile Selassie defeated the Italians. No. Once he ran, he lost. When he came back with the Italians' cousins. And they told, hey, cuz, you did your job, bro. I'm here now. Go ahead home. We got this, and we gonna take over. And that's what Great Britain did. This is facts. Great Britain stayed in Ethiopia after Italian left at least 12 more years. This facts.
And developed their government.
To unalive the rest of the people that they cuz didn't get.
Because so that is your basis for you to claim that Ethiopia was colonized. The mere fact that he went there, advocated for its people, brought some resources, developed the nation that was torn apart by many years of war, and then eventually...
Brother, the resources was the British Empire. The resources was the British.
Yes,
okay,
yes. The British, I'm not denying that.
They're not your friend. The colonizers not your friend. They gonna
you don't have to be my friend to help me.
Huh?
You could have your own agenda.
So they had the agenda. They had an agenda over Ethiopia.
Of course. I'm not saying, but that does not mean they. You see, this is where he went to Britain because Ethiopia was the founding nation of the League of Nations that was established in 1923. Few years after that, we had that incident in Addis Ababa where they bombed us with everything that Italy had. By the time that he came back, yes, there were resources that was made available. God knows whatever reason. It could be to take over any region. I'm not denying that. But the mere fact that we had those resources to develop the nation, and then the king came back, and then at the same time, while he was in exile, there was the Black Lion warriors fighting. All this means Ethiopia has never been colonized. I got to hop off, but I appreciate y'all for the conversation.
Okay, brother, man, I got one question before you go.
Yeah.
It's not the Ethiopian church named after Charles.
After who?
George.
No, George.
Yeah, what about him? There is a church called St. George.
Brother, it's no original Ethiopian that's ever been called George. That's Great Britain. That come from Great Britain. They showing you ownership.
Actually, St. George. That's what I was trying to find earlier. We have to keep the religious element out of it. He's from Syria.
Nah. Okay, bro. But I'm saying that's not an Ethiopian name.
A lot of the Ethiopian Orthodox faith elements are not Ethiopian, but that has nothing to do with the conversation.
All right, bro. Okay. All right, brother. All right, man. I appreciate you coming up, though, brother. Peace.
All right, good.
King George.
That's the one that's labeled as the oldest church.
Yeah.
I believe, right?
Why would you have the oldest church in Ethiopia called George?
St. George.
You know that's not an Ethiopian name. That's not that's not even an African name. But you would have the church named after George. That's showing you colonization. That stuff I be forgetting about. I be forgetting to mention that, because sometimes you hear some stuff, man, blow your mind so bad you don't even want to talk about it. You're like, man, I don't even want to talk about it, bro, man. Like, damn, man, they y'all gonna deny colonization? They just restricted my life.
That means it's time to go.
Yep.
That means it's time to go.
But man, stuff like that, man, it's crazy, y'all. And like I say, man, all this is just, to show you, again, God prophecy is here. This was foretold, what's gonna happen. It's not religion. We talking about what's happening. We talking about the happening. Just as it was foretold what was gonna happen, it happened, y'all. It's happening, and we see it. It's crazy. It's crazy, it's madness, but it had to happen. But with that being said, y'all, I think we out of here, man. Check out the website, y'all. If you want to get in touch with us, that's where you get in touch with us at. We do got Monday calls for those who really understand the mission. This is a great fight. It's a great time, but it's also a sad time. It's the bittersweet. It's the bittersweet, man. The information is so sweet, but when you have to swallow it, you have to swallow that persecution. You have to see people that just dumb to it. That's that bitterness. That you really gonna see. Family, loved ones. And at the same time, y'all, many are called, few are chosen. So it's only a few people that's gonna carry out the mission for the many. Everybody not gonna carry out the mission. Get that in your mind. Everybody is not built to carry out the mission. Everybody is not built to carry the load. But those who are built to carry out the mission, those who are built to carry the load, they're gonna do it for a lot of people. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, as always, we hope the Father has circumcised y'all hearts and ears for the message. Peace and blessings, and we out.
Peace, y'all.